One. Hey guys, we're live. I'm here with Ellie. How are you, Ellie? Eloise,
Hey,
Eloise.
what's
I did it
up?
again. I
Yeah,
just thought to myself,
y-
Eloise.
don't do it because I told you before that I have a friend that calls me Ellie and things are not good in this friendship. Don't do it again, otherwise the
No,
life is about
Eloise.
to.
I literally just read it on my
Yeah,
show notes, and then I was like, okay, yeah, Eloise, and then in we went, and I said Ellie straight away. I was like,
yeah. Ellie is not the one, so don't do
no.
it.
So Eloise
However, I
Gomez,
am
how
good.
are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I'm happy that it's Friday, of course. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah, Friday means Friday Night Live, so
Yeah,
everyone loves
of
it.
course. Yeah. And you, what's up? What's up with you?
I'm good. I've been not doing too much actually. I've been gymming and I've been prepping for these. So got lots and lots of people lined up, but today's all about you. I'm sure I'll name drop the guys later. Uh,
Yeah.
where are you? Where are you at the moment?
Gym is something, you know. Gym is something.
Yeah, yeah. Gym counts. Gym counts.
Yeah, it counts. I want to start on Monday. I know everyone says that, but I actually want to and I will start. So it's something.
Yeah. Are you in
Yeah.
London at the moment?
No, I'm not in London.
Where are you situated at the moment? Because we know that you went to uni in Bulgaria, um,
Yeah.
and you've finished pretty recently. So,
Yeah.
what's life done to
Very
you
recently.
since you've completed your degree? Obviously, COVID's hit, so it's not helped.
Yeah. That's a big element and I think in everyone's lives, to be honest, COVID.
Mm,
Of course, my uni and my life was not an exception. So just been trying to adjust to that, of course. Um, Gladly managed to graduate despite everything. I'm in Austria right now. I'm just kind of going through a transition period. I'm just kind of taking a break in a way before life
yeah,
restarts. You know, it's kind of like a reset period for me right now. Yeah. Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
So,
I've been to Austria. I've been to Austria once, with my dad's
yeah.
football team, but we were all the way up in the Alps. So
Yeah, that's exactly where I am right now.
it's really
So,
nice, especially over kind of the summer months where when normally it's skiing, instead everything's
yeah.
just green and you can go on like walks and people were doing like mountain biking and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's beautiful actually. You have the scenery, you have the fresh air. It's calm, and now with COVID, of course, there's less people here. It's less densely
Nice and
populated,
quiet.
so you can kind of nice and quiet, and you can kind of like live and not just survive with masks all the time. So it's been good.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, what are your very vaguely what are your plans within
Mhm.
dentistry? What kind of route are you going down? Are you a surgery girl? Are you someone who wants to do more clinical work, or what's your ideas?
Um, Honestly, I guess I am more into the bloody stuff.
Right.
I am more of a perio slash surgery person, not so much of the aesthetic, beautiful, mechanical person. So less ortho prosthodontics, more surgery, incisions, sutures, blood everywhere kind of thing. So
What
yeah,
makes you that kind
but
of
I
a
think that
person then? Like, what is it?
I think I've always been that kind of person,
Yeah.
to be honest. I think I've always been more into the, let's say, medical side of dentistry compared to the artistic side of it, you know. Of course,
Mm,
you always have to use both elements, but there are people more inclined to,
the pretty
one side of the
stuff.
spectrum. There are people more inclined to yeah, I'm definitely more of a messy person, let's say,
Yeah.
when it comes to dentistry. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So
there's
we'll
so many
see.
different ways to go about it because obviously you come out and you're like,
Definitely.
okay, well, you can do really, really pretty stuff where it's just, you're cutting veneers and putting them on. Or there's like
Yeah.
perio, which is starting to get a bit more that way. But I think you've got like a balance of cutting things up and making things look nice and everything, right?
Of course, you have to anyway. There's not really a choice, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Can't just slash up something and then be gone. That's not how it works in
No, because
dentistry.
you have to think about the end result. So I suppose it's more
Yeah.
like things like gums are visible and things and
Yeah,
implants are visible, but it's more like the surgery behind it, which is more interesting to you. Is that right?
exactly. Yeah, that's
Obviously, you've
exactly
got
what
the
it
the out
is.
end outcome, which a
Yeah.
prosthodontist might do, and planning is
Yeah,
obviously
of course.
important. So
Yeah, of course. I mean, we all work together. So at the end of the day, I think it's just more important to focus on the things that you enjoy the most.
Yeah,
And obviously, as well, the things that you are, or you feel, or you know that you are better at, so that we can all kind of contribute and achieve the same end result, right?
fair
Yeah,
enough, isn't it? Uh,
yeah.
what was your training like? Because obviously that really impacts on how you see things. For
Yeah.
example, if you'd had loads and loads of oral surgery training, that might be why you've got a lot of exposure to that kind of work. Whereas other people might, for example, I had loads and loads of endo when I was in uni, so
Hmm.
that's kind of
Yeah.
almost set me down a way. And you know, if I hadn't had so many cases, maybe I would have seen something else and gone, oh, maybe I'll do that instead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. What was my training like? So let's start with where I actually
Yeah.
graduated. So I studied in Varna. Varna is a city in Bulgaria by the Black Sea. Um, let's say that Bulgaria is or was a communist country. So there are still kind of like imprints from communism, and that is also included in education. And so I would say that the education, including higher education, and of course, without exception, dentistry, is still quite traditional in the sense that it is still very medical based, let's
So there's a
say.
lot
You
of
know, there's so
rote
there's a
learning and from books, as opposed to
yes,
like,
there's a lot
yeah,
of yeah, there's a lot of theoretical
yeah,
learning, and there is a lot of, I'd say, the way they teach dentistry is very medically based. I'm quite aware that in the UK it's way more, let's say, practical and way more focused in the maxillofacial head and neck region, whereas in Bulgaria they still have this mentality where you are going to be a dentist at the end of the
yeah.
day, but first you have to kind of focus on the medical stuff. So um, I actually do think that one of the reasons why I'm way more medically inclined or surgically inclined in the dental field is because I've had so much
Medical training. Yeah.
medical influence. Yeah, of course. So we had a lot of subjects that, if I told you right now, if I started listing you all the subjects that I had, you'd be like, why the hell did you even have these subjects in the first place? Like dental
So it's
school
a
was
very
the first.
traditional course. It sounds like,
Yeah, very
yeah.
traditional. Yeah, just what, like, one example, dental school was the first time I saw a baby being born. So
What?
yes,
Okay,
yeah, so
yeah,
yeah,
that
I
makes no
had
sense to someone from the
yeah,
UK who's done dentistry.
yeah, we had obstetrics and gynecology. So let's say that, yeah, one of the first things is that dentistry in Varna or Bulgaria, let's say, is very traditionally based. It's very medically based. A lot of people do think, okay, well, why the hell am I learning this? Some people think, okay, yeah, general
I guess
knowledge.
it's
So
interesting, I
it depends on your
suppose.
perspective. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I survived, I
Yeah.
graduated, so can't say that I didn't have time for other things, which maybe are more important than seeing a baby being born. But yeah, I think that's the main difference between dentistry, maybe in the UK and in
I'm interested to
Bulgaria. It's
know,
the
did
way
anyone
they.
else who's watching ever see a baby being born during their dental training and not by, their own wife, girlfriend, whatever, like as part of the course? So let us know if anyone has actually had that
Yeah.
particular experience. Yeah, and then after the all the medical stuff, what was your clinical dental clinical experience like? Seems like you've had a lot of random clinical experience.
Um, it was good, to be honest. We had a lot of, I don't know how it is in the UK regarding that, but we did have a lot of freedom. I can't complain about the opportunities that we had to get things
Mm,
done, to get certain procedures done. So I can't really say, oh, there was some obstacles regarding that. The one thing is that, of course, because I'm not Bulgarian, right? We weren't Bulgarian. My friends were not Bulgarian. There was a language
okay.
barrier, and not just language barrier. There was a social barrier, right? And to get patients, it was a bit hard at times. Most of the times, we had to do extra things. We had to take that extra step to get the same amount of patients that our Bulgarian colleagues did manage to get. So that was a big struggle, actually, especially in fourth year, which is actually the first year where you start seeing and treating
Yeah.
patients. That was a big step, and that was definitely a
So were
big.
you kind of left on your own to find patients, and kind of the national students or Bulgarian students would get patients allocated to them? How did it work, or did they get first pick? Is that what it was like?
Okay, so imagine there's like a reception in uni, right, in our
Right.
faculty, and there's a book, and there's two people or three people looking after this book, right, responsible for this book, who work for the uni, and patients can come in to our faculty, or faculty of dental medicine, and they can say, okay, I have this certain complaint, and according to the complaints, they're actually allocated to a certain subject, whether it's perio or surgery or prosthodontics. If they say, oh, I have this one tooth missing, then most likely they're going to be put into prosthodontics. Or if they have pain, they'll be put into restorative dentistry, which we actually call conservative dentistry
Yes.
in Bulgaria.
Yeah. We.
Yeah.
It's interchangeable, I
Is
think.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you go to this book, right? Okay, so the patient leaves the age, name, and phone number. You go to this book, and you ask for, depending on what you need, you ask for, okay, hey, can I have do you have any patients for surgery or for prosthetics? And then, well, if they do, they might or might not give you the number, depending on their mood, depending on whether they have favorites or not. But that's already
Mm.
like a smaller a smaller problem, a micro problem in our uni. If they don't, then and you need patients, you just need to go and look for patients outside. You need to literally go outside, stop people in the streets, and be like, "Hey, I'm a dental student, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year. If you need like a checkup, if you need anything, come to me. I have a lesson at this time, on this day, on this floor in the dental faculty." And literally, you are literally left to
That
to
sounds
your own
horrible.
luck.
Did anyone go out with like a sandwich
It
board
was
on?
it was
You know,
very tough.
like a sandwich board and a little twirly thing.
Yeah, let's just say that people sometimes we were forced to use certain measures that otherwise wouldn't have had to if circumstances were better for us.
Yeah, because I know American
Yeah,
students have to do something similar. Like they do get
yeah,
patients. I mean, there's no. Well, I don't think there's any discrimination maybe on the way that you're talking about there. But
yeah,
they all start up an Instagram page and stuff like that to
hmm
get their
yeah.
name out there a little bit. And then when they start taking patients, they all say now accepting patients, and they're shouting about it quite a
Yeah.
lot.
No, it was tough. I
Mm.
think it was. Oh no, I don't think it was. It was one of the toughest things you had to. One of the toughest changes you had to adapt to from third year to fourth year, which is when the clinical year started. And yeah, it was bad.
Not ideal.
It was bad. It was hard. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
what was the actual teaching like? Was it very the actual dental teaching? We'll skip past all the weird medical stuff that you did. Um,
Yeah.
but were you taught kind of gold standard sort of treatment, or that we might see in the UK? Because I have heard some people say, oh, certain tutors abroad wouldn't teach rubber dam for endos and stuff like that. Which obviously,
hmm
if you come and work in more Western Europe or something, you'd be like, "What are you doing? That's not how we do
Yeah.
things here," sort of thing.
I mean, I do think that they do try to be as, let's say, Eurocentric as
Yeah,
possible, right? So to be on the level or the same level as, renowned Western European dental faculties. So I cannot complain about the standard of teaching. I can't complain about the material that I was given to learn, right?
yeah.
Of course, that we all know that with uni, at the end of the day, yes, you can be given all this
It's down
material,
to
but
you.
it is up to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, of course,
I
it's
was gonna
down to
say
you.
that, like actual, like,
Yeah, this is not nursery or
mm,
primary school, like where teachers are going to be running after you. No, absolutely not. We both know that.
yeah.
So I do think that in terms of standards, in terms of rules, in terms of what we've been given, I cannot complain about that at all. I think it was a good level of. However, whether you try to be up to standard as well or not, then that's a
I guess what
different
I'm asking is,
question.
did they let you get away with things? Because I feel like we weren't allowed to get away with much, like in terms of cutting standards within our dental school, and that might be different for lots and lots of dental schools. Um,
hmm
so that's something that's interesting to me. I'm not trying to like
Yeah, no, no,
poke
no,
fun at a
no, no.
dental
I
school
get
or
what
anything
you
like
mean.
that,
Yeah.
because I think
No, 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 no. I know, no. Did it? To be honest, all I can say is that it depends on the teacher.
right,
But most of the times, no. Most of the times,
pretty
no. I
good.
mean, we were using rubber dams all the time, at least, or at least I was definitely struggling with those rubber dams for
Yeah.
sometimes 20, 25 minutes, but I was, I was doing it.
It takes
So,
a while to
you
get
know,
used to, doesn't it? They do
it
take a while.
definitely takes, I've graduated, but I don't think I'm used to them still,
Honestly, it
but
took
we'll
me
see.
18 months after graduation at least till
Yeah,
I was like,
that
get it on
thing
like that.
takes up time to like, it takes up time. That's effort.
Mm. It makes your job
So,
easier though.
yeah,
And I don't understand how people are doing
yeah,
it without a lot.
yeah.
Not even. I'd put rubber dam on for an amalgam. I'll be honest.
No, no, I completely agree with you. I mean, it does take time to get there, but once you're there, it is the best thing that you could have done. And you tell yourself, wow, I'm so glad I made the effort to do this,
Mm.
because it really does, subtract time from other things. It really does make your life easier. So yeah, in terms of getting away with things, yeah,
It depends. Yeah.
it depends on the teacher, but let's just say that in general, no, I don't remember having it that easy, or them being like, okay, next kind of thing. No,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
what do you enjoy about like what do you enjoy the most about the dentistry? Like obviously we spoke about surgery, and
Of
that's one
course.
thing. But is there a certain moment where you made that decision in your head?
Okay, so what? First of all, what do I enjoy the most about dentistry? There's a lot of things I do enjoy about dentistry, of course, which are dental related and directly, and there are things that I enjoy which are not necessarily dental related, maybe more, let's say, socially
Mm.
related. So, of course, I do enjoy the, let's say, the fairy tale. Yeah, I'd love to, make people smile, whatever. Yeah, the cliche stuff. But of course, I do enjoy the getting to know patients, the growing with patients, the seeing the evolution in the patient's mentality. That is, for me, that's one of the biggest challenges, but it's also one of the most rewarding things. Like, in the beginning, this patient comes to me and they don't
Bit
care at
clueless.
all about anything. Yeah, they're clueless. They're like, what? Floss? What? You have, all these types of
Mm.
toothbrushes and bristles. And then after a few, let's say more than a few months, you see that they're more aware, that they care more. So I like this growth that you get to see, get to experience with the patient. I also like the fact that they help me grow.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you actually learn things from your own patients.
Yeah.
So I like this exchange. I really like it. I really like the social side of dentistry. I like the fact that you can actually make such a big difference in someone's life. Regarding as to what exactly made me, want to become a dentist, that's another story. But I guess that the things that I enjoy in dentistry also made me kind of what I enjoy seeing in my patients are things that I also went through as a patient,
Right. Okay.
if you get what I mean. Yeah. So I actually, in the beginning, wanted to do medicine. That was my
Shock horror.
first kind of,
I've just
yeah.
everything you said.
Oh, so different.
I'm not sure there was a
Yeah.
gynecology rotation now. I think you just went and did one.
Yeah. Yeah, I just sneaked in with the medical students and I went to for the sake of
Yeah.
it because I just had to make sure.
Couple of
No, I'm
comments I
joking.
think from some of your friends. Ninja Reese Cake says hi, and
Yeah.
Linda Gomes says go Izzy.
Yeah. Yay.
Thanks for joining us,
um,
guys.
so, so, yeah. So back to the initial question. I actually, when I was younger, surprise, surprise, I was very scared of the dentist.
Right. Yep. Pretty
Yeah,
common.
I was scared. Yeah, I was scared of going to the dentist. It was a horror for me. And I did have to change dentists a few times until I found a dentist that I was compatible with. And once I did, everything changed. Everything changed. I actually, people usually say that I don't smile that much nowadays, but I actually think I smile way more than I used to because before I didn't really enjoy my
Right.
smile. But that's the thing. Once I met my dentist, he kind of, you know, helped me to kind of like my smile,
Did you have
and
work done, or was it
also
just
take
more self confidence?
more self
Okay.
confidence. Yeah, I didn't really have any specific work done. More self confidence, and he also he actually showed me that you don't necessarily have to be scared of this person just because you know how we work. We work right on top of
Yeah.
someone, so close to the person. It might be intimidating, and just the way he kind of approached me, kind of made me feel less intimidated and less scared. And I don't know if you had this, but it was in year 10 or year 11, I think, where you had these 2 or 3 weeks of work experience where you just have to find a placement kind of thing and go
I
do
vaguely
some
remember having to go,
random
yeah.
experience. Yeah, okay. But we had to do this. And initially, I actually wanted to do it in at a GP center. But because of confidentiality problems, I wasn't able to get a placement. So I had this dental practice next to my house. And I thought, you know what, let me try this dental practice. And I went and they said, okay, yeah, sure, why not? So I was actually shadowing different dentists, endodontists, surgeons, periodontists
Oh,
as
nice. Was
well
it kind of like
for
a
2 weeks.
specialist-led practice then? Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah,
That
they
would be
had,
amazing.
yeah, it was like multidisciplinary practice. Um, so yeah, for 2 weeks I was shadowing dentists. In the beginning, of course, dentistry, because it's so practical, it's so hands-on, it's actually way more fun to be doing things compared to watching them. So
Yeah.
in the beginning, it was a bit, and I was young, I didn't really know what was going on. But then I was like, okay, it's not just about the science. It's also about the social side and how you get to know people and how you get to interact with people. So let's just say that it was a combination of liking science, liking working with my hands, and seeing the patient doctor interaction. Also the relationship that I was developing with my dentist, which was something that before I used to hate. So it was everything kind of happening at the
Yeah.
same time, and I think it just grew on me. To be honest, dentistry just grew on me, and
I think
here we
that's
are.
how it happens sometimes, because I'll be honest, I had
Yeah,
not a clue even once I got into
yeah,
uni. I didn't know what
yeah,
dentists did at all. Um,
yeah.
we were very careful with what we ate and stuff. Well, my parents didn't give us a lot of sweets and stuff. I remember
Mhm,
from
yeah.
very early age, we used to have one sweet on a Friday, not one bag of sweet,
Oh Lord,
one like chew it,
one
one individual
individual.
sweet
Oh
on
Lord,
a Friday.
the struggle.
That was it. And then obviously as you got a bit
Yeah.
older, to mid-teens, then it was relaxed a little bit more. But that meant that we
Hmm.
pretty much, I think the only time I actually went to the dentist as a child was when my friend's mom was taking us home, and he had an
Yeah.
appointment, so I went in with him,
Hmm.
and then the dentist looked on mine as well, probably because they were
Okay.
after one UDA. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
but that's the only time that I remember actually going, because my every now and then we'd go. My uncle would have a quick look and say, "Yeah, it's all fine," um, but we weren't actually registered, so I had absolutely not a clue
No
about
clue.
what a
Yeah.
dentist does.
Yeah.
None of it.
Yeah.
I pretty much don't have an idea. When people ask, I get a lot of questions going, "Oh yeah, should I do dentistry and stuff like that?" And why did you do it? And I just have to like,
Yeah.
it's almost
It's
embarrassing because I just
complex.
like
It's
I
complex.
don't know what I did it in a way. I was like 9 to 5 job, no night shifts. Okay, that'll do that. Tick. That's essentially what my thought process
Is it
was.
too late to go back? Yeah.
There wasn't a lot
No,
there.
it's
That was
okay.
essentially my entire thought process at the time. I had
Yeah.
no idea what caries was or decay, or I knew that like orthodontists moved teeth so you didn't
Yeah.
look like a bit funky, but that was about it.
I didn't even know that. Didn't even know that teeth could move.
Yeah, so I was really clueless.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really difficult question for people keep on asking me.
Yeah. It is. It is.
Cup,
And to be honest, when people ask me that, yeah, and I'm talking, and I'm replying, I feel like I sound so cliche, like, oh, fairy tale, haha. But it's way more complex than that.
yeah,
I mean, it's deep, it's complex, so
yeah. I mean that's the
yeah.
thing, because obviously to get into dental school, you've got to be pretty on the ball in school. So
Yeah, of course.
if you
Yeah.
fluff your lines, then you maybe look at something else. So a lot of things have to line
Yeah.
up to end up in these careers sometimes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, a
Yeah.
couple more comments. I hope I say this right. Melida Gomes says, "Hey." Uh, Ubar says,
You
"You're doing
lady.
great, sis," and Mohini says,
Aw.
"Hey, Doctor Hello Easy," with lots of
Dr.
E's.
Beats.
So
Hey guys.
all your fan
Thank
codes
you.
here, which is great.
Yeah. I love the
Yeah, thank
support.
you for joining us, guys. Hit
That
the like button and
yeah.
that subscribe button, because we do this every week.
Subscribe.
Um, I've kind of asked you the question. I mean, you've kind of answered the question that I had next, which is what led you to healthcare. So
Yeah.
we can skip
Yeah.
right on past that. Um,
Mhm.
where where do you think would be your advice to someone going into dental school if they're deciding to go to, you know, Bulgaria, or Romania, or, you know, some people go to Spain as well, because we know it's not easy to get into the
Mhm.
UK. So do you have a story around
Yeah.
that?
My advice to people who are thinking of going to dental school in general, or specifically like moving
I think
abroad
both,
to
because you know
both.
I think I have friends
Yeah.
who failed to get in a couple of times and went abroad. I have friends who failed to
Hmm.
get in the first time, then went, you know, got in second time. I have friends who maybe went, I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind going to Spain because it's nicer than England, you know. So there's a lot of different reasons in
Yeah.
there. But what was your story around that? Because I think, you know, everyone would like to do it closer to home. Well,
Yeah, of
actually, some
course.
people might not, but yeah.
Yeah. My first piece of advice is, guys, do not be scared to go abroad. Please do not be scared. Do not hesitate if you can do it, you know, because of course I understand that a lot of people don't have the means
Yeah,
to, you know, we don't, yeah, there's a lot of parents who are not as supportive in terms of going abroad as mine were, for example, and I'm very grateful for that. You know, my family always supported this. If you have the means to, if your parents are on board, if you have the support to, please go. There is nothing stopping you. There's absolutely nothing stopping you. So that's my first piece of advice, and that's the most important. That is the most
yeah.
important. And also, don't think that. Okay, second piece of advice. Don't think that, you
You're
know,
only
because I know that I'm not trying to throw any shade, but you know, we do know that, okay, people love going to universities that are more, let's say, better
prestigious. Yeah,
known, of course, which is, yeah, prestigious, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We all like prestige, but don't think that the education that you're going to get abroad is necessarily, especially with Eastern Europe, is necessarily worse. It is not. You get all the chances that you get in the UK. You get all the material that you get in the UK. The standards are up there, because at the end of the day, remember, it's down to
yeah.
you
We already said
to
this, didn't we?
become
It's
the
yeah,
best dentist. Yeah. So don't be hesitant because you think, oh, you know, I'm going to go to this country, maybe I'm not going to be able to go back to the UK, go back to whatever country you're coming from. um you know, there's a reason why the UK, you know, the GDC, so the General Dental Council, accepts, you know,
from all over the
degrees
place.
from other European countries. Everything's been regulated, everything's been checked, double checked, triple checked. So don't be
Yeah,
scared, go. So these are my two, like, gold pieces of advice, you know. Please do go. Everything else, you're going to get used to it. Everything else, you're going to, you know, we're humans, we adapt to things, we adapt to situations. It's not
yeah.
the worst thing
Just
in the
look at
world. It's
COVID.
not.
How everyone's changed their lives around to
Yeah, yeah,
at the drop of
yeah,
a
of
hat.
course.
We've now okay. No one goes out anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Well, some people having, like, you know, 300 people parties, but that's another story for another
Yeah,
day. Anyways, so do it. Honestly, do it. There's no reason why, you know, unless you have
other
other
plans. Yeah,
special reasons, go. Yeah, other plans. How did it actually happen? So it's funny. This was during A2, actually, that we first, me and my friend. So I have a friend she's a medical student. She's now in sixth year, so the last year. She also studies in Bulgaria, but they started a semester later, so they finish a semester later as well. So this is her last semester.
awesome.
You know, there was one day during A2 that she was like, you know what? I don't think A2 exams are going to go as well as I, you know, wished. So I'm, you know, looking into going abroad. And we did have this conversation maybe once or twice, but we didn't take it
Serious.
very
Yeah.
serious at the time. Yeah. However, when we got our A2 exams results, you know, and we realized that we got our second choices. So that was me doing biomedical sciences at Loughborough. Of course, Loughborough is a nice uni. It's a very good uni,
Oh,
but
it's
I did
way
not want
too
to be a
posh for me.
biomedical
Way too
scientist.
posh for me.
Yeah. But you exercise a lot, so it's very sporty,
I know, but
Loughborough.
I feel like they do rowing,
Yeah.
and maybe
Yeah.
I played rugby, so I probably would fit in a little bit. But I was quite I was
Yeah.
quite short. Well, I'm still quite short, you know, well,
Yeah.
average height or whatever. And I was very, very, very skinny back in the day, so I
Yeah.
definitely would have got
Oh,
like mashed up if I'd gone
okay.
straight in. So definitely not the place for me. Uh,
Okay. So let's just say you evolved. No, I'm
yeah,
joking.
yeah, I put on
Yeah.
20 kilos in a couple of years over uni.
We all evolved. It's okay. So yeah, when I got let's say I think it was UCAS. Is it UCAS that tells you, yeah, you got into this uni or
Yeah,
not?
it's UCAS.
Whoever's
Yeah,
in charge of it. when I got the email from them say the next day, because I think I did an all-nighter that night because I was so nervous, saying, "Hey, you got your choice at Loughborough." I was so brokenhearted. I was like, no way. Like, really? I really am going to Loughborough to do my biomedical sciences?
Mm,
There's no way. So my friend, she also got her second choice and she instantly WhatsApped me. She was like, you know what, Eloise? Nah, it was literally the 22nd or the 23rd of August at the
mm,
time of 2014. She's like, you know what? There's no way. There is no way. I'm staying in England. I am leaving. I am going. I'm aborting mission. I was like, wait, where are you going? She said, I'm looking to Bulgaria. I was like, what? Bulgaria? And at the time, I was actually in Lisbon on holidays because that's my hometown. So I was on holidays at the time. I was like, what? Bulgaria? Like, where did that come from? Kind of thing. She's like, yeah, I'm really looking into it because I don't want to be a biologist. I want to be, she's doing medical
yeah.
school. So she's going to be a medical doctor. I want to be a medical doctor. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm also going to look into this. So this was like literally a last minute thing. So last week of August, we both decided, nah, we're not staying in the
So
UK.
essentially,
Quickly spoke to our parents, and I ended up doing the entrance exam on the last possible day, which was the 19th of
right.
September. I remember. Like, it was literally, I had like 3 weeks to get everything sorted, all my documents, and then fly back to London, get my documents sorted, fly to Bulgaria, do the entrance exam, and
There you go.
then, leave it all up to,
So
yeah,
is it similar
fate.
sort of text like, do you fancy a Nando's? Only it was, do you fancy uni in Bulgaria? Essentially what you've done there, isn't it? Like it was, it's a friend texts you, oh yeah, fancy going for a meal. You just instead it's like fancy 6 years in Bulgaria. You go, yeah, okay, cool, I'm on it.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, literally. Hey, I feel like a cheeseburger. You know what? Yeah, let's go to Bulgaria for it for 6 years. Literally, it was so last minute. It's actually crazy, but I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad. Like they usually say, rejection is a redirection, and that
I've
was the
not heard
best
that. That's a
rejection
good
of my
one.
life.
That's not. That's a really good
Yeah,
one. I'm
yeah.
gonna save
That
that.
was save it. That was the best rejection in my life.
Yeah.
Literally the best.
Wow, loads of comments,
So
guys. We've got Arlindo Gomes as well saying you're very relaxed, well done. And then Ninjuri says solid advice. Often focus too much on getting into that specific uni, which yeah,
yeah,
100%. I wasn't fussed which uni I got into,
yeah.
as long as I got into one. I think that was the thing, and again, I wouldn't have gone to biomedical sciences if I had. I didn't even put myself a fifth option. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll just apply again. Um, but yeah, you've done it now. It
Yeah.
smashed it.
Yeah, can't believe
How do you think
it.
going to Bulgaria has changed you? Do you think it's changed you at all? Like, has it opened your eyes to the world a little bit? Because I kind of feel like maybe a lot of us miss a trick by not going abroad.
Um, I mean, people do, when I talk to people and say, yeah, well, when I was still in Bulgaria, people used to say, wow, you're so independent. I think you're so much grown than us, compared to my friends who had stayed in the
Yeah.
UK. And to be honest, let's say that personally, I don't think that going to Bulgaria specific has I don't know has changed me that much. I don't think that I would have been that much difference had I gone to a uni in the UK, but maybe I would have. I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe it has, and I just haven't realized it.
Mm.
Um,
It's opened your eyes to a different part of the
I think
world,
that the
though. Do
things
you
that
think?
I learned in Bulgaria, I could have learned in another uni in the UK. I think, or being in uni abroad. I don't know. I really
It's
don't know
impossible
how
to know without going to another uni.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not really. I can't really say yes or no.
What about
But
the
of
actual
course,
living
I'm not
out
the same
there?
person.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not the same person. Of course,
No,
I've learned
everyone
a lot
changes.
just by going to uni. Yeah, everyone changes. 6 years, especially. Of course, you change. You change every year.
Changed a few times.
So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I am not the same person I was even in fourth year or even fifth
Yeah.
year. So imagine now. Yeah. But it definitely has helped me to kind of see things from a different perspective, let's say,
Yeah,
to
because I mean it's a
tolerate things
post-communist country, isn't it?
that
Which
I never imagined could happen to me, to
yeah,
be honest. Yeah.
I know, but it's interesting
Yeah.
because it's a post-communist country, like you said, and you know,
Yeah.
on top of that, Eastern Europe is very different from Western Europe. I've
Yeah.
not, I mean, the furthest I've been is like Prague, I think, and that was
Mhm.
very different to London, for
Yeah.
example, or somewhere, and
Yeah.
even going out the city center in Prague, you're just like, this is like it almost feels a bit Borat-y, some of the places we were in.
Yeah.
It's like, and
Yeah.
that's not like
I
knocking
feel
them,
you.
but like you get that little villagey type of thing,
Yeah.
which is quite interesting. So
Nah, I feel you on a deep level. Trust me. On a deep level.
yeah,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So you're not in the UK. Are you back in? Where did you say you were? You're in
No,
Austria now. Yeah.
actually, yeah,
So what have you
I'm in
been up to in
Austria.
Austria? What's the crack?
I'm just, relaxing, just kind of getting to know new places, getting some fresh air, running away from COVID.
Is that it? You look at the map, go, okay, that looks pretty. That looks like a green alert level. I'll go there for a bit. Seems like a good
Yeah,
idea.
that looks like it has enough mountains. So goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, COVID. Goodbye, 20,000 cases a day. I'm going there, literally. Yeah, I'm just kind of making the most out of my free time right now,
Mm,
because I know that it's coming for me.
yeah,
Once I start working, yeah, it's gonna start.
that's the thing. Maybe
Yeah,
hold up as long as you can and just enjoy it.
yeah,
Wait till the
yeah.
money runs
I'm
out.
trying to. Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, whilst I can do it, whilst I can afford to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you like to do in your free
yeah.
time? Like, what would your let's just imagine you've now landed yourself in a job. Um,
Mhm.
what would your week kind of look like? In terms of, okay, yes, you're working, but what are you gonna do to like unwind? What would your ideal like pastimes be outside and stuff like that?
I mean, especially outside, I think it's quite hard to. It depends on where I
Yeah.
am, to be honest. It really depends on what kind of city I'm living, because living in London and living in Varna is completely different, let's say. But my hobbies are going to sound so cliche, but it's the truth. I like reading books. I like going for walks. I like, going out, for drinks, for dinner. I like, I sometimes I used to more in the past, but I also play the guitar sometimes. I also sometimes try to tune my guitar and, pretend that I'm Miley Cyrus or something, but I know I'm not. I know I'm just a
Yeah.
dentist. So yeah, my hobbies are quite. I do love traveling, but that does not mean I'm always traveling.
That's my dream to
But
be
I
able to
try.
just go,
I do
okay, I'm
try
traveling.
to. Yeah, I do try to travel as much as I can. You know. Yeah, just focusing. To be honest, right now, just focusing on self growth, on reflecting a bit, and kind of getting to know myself more because I did not have that time in dental school for sure. I was trying to get to
Yeah,
know
it's just
the
100%
protocols
smashed
and
work.
yeah, I was trying to find an inclination of the teeth whilst making dentures in dental school, not getting to know myself.
What
That's kind of like the focus right now. Yeah.
anything interesting that you've been reading? Because there's a lot of really amazing books, which I've had a few different um recommendations from people and anything interesting
Mhm.
that you read, which is around self growth and stuff like that.
You know what? I'm actually trying to kind of learn more about financial literacy
Oh,
because
cool.
that's something I've had no clue about until now. So, just reading more about, saving money and stocks and that kind of stuff. I'm only in the beginning, but
Okay,
I'm
hit us
trying
with
to.
what you've learned because this is what it's all about. We go way off on the random topics, and it's interesting because
Yeah.
we did with James. We did 3 hours on cryptocurrency last week. Although
Yeah.
actually, probably an hour and a half of that was me and him talking absolute nonsense. So probably most people tuned that out. But there were some nuggets in there as well. So what have
Mhm.
you learned so far? See if we can take something away.
Mhm. Well, the biggest thing that I've learned so far is that as soon as you can, start saving for your retirement.
Yeah,
As soon as you can, you know, as soon as you can. And also invest in property. Invest in property,
you reckon that's the way to
have
go?
some, let's say, yeah, definitely have some, what was the term? Passive income. That is very important. Passive income is very important. Yeah. So these are the two, let's say, because of course I've learned more things, but in general, these are the two big things that I've kind of had my eye on, and I'm definitely going to take on with me as I grow and as time goes by. Invest in property and start saving for your retirement. You want to do that.
Otherwise, you'll be
Yeah.
working forever.
How about you? What have you been reading? What have you been up to? Kind of thing.
It's probably been really boring for you, but I've been well. The last thing I read was something called Soccernomics, football. So
Yeah.
you're probably
Okay.
very, very boring for you. But it's all like I'm very
I'm
statsy. I'm
open-minded
very
now.
statsy sort of,
Yeah.
sort of like thing. So they talk about football, but from just numbers point of view. Like they don't talk about any of the
Yeah.
actual football. It's just the numbers behind everything. It's kind of
Okay.
like,
All right.
have you read something like Free Economics? So
No, I
that's a really
haven't.
good book, but it's like again, it's the
Yeah.
numbers behind real things. So in that, it's like
Okay.
really, I think that's the one where they've got the how a drug empire works or something, or
Oh
all
wow.
these weird things like how it actually works from the top down. But they did the same
Yeah.
thing for football, so like how it works. So
Yeah.
it was interesting. Very very probably you'd find it very boring, but someone who likes football, I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool.
But would you say that it's more about the football or the economics behind football? Because if it is behind the economics of football, then that is something different, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
that 50-50 mark, like
Yeah.
how they
Okay.
make good teams, but not
Yeah.
like training, more like the
Okay.
numbers, but how they finance things and how they analyze things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, someone's saying we need free dental care.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, I've been hearing this for the past 6 years of my life, so I'm used to it. But still, I tell people off all the time because was my education free?
No,
No.
yeah, that's the thing.
I wish it was, but no. All those tears in the lab, you know, saying, why did I do this to myself?
Mm.
For people to come and ask me for free treatment. Unbelievable.
No, so what do you reckon? Is there a book that you would recommend that I should go ahead and have a little look at? You not think of anything at the moment?
um, is there a book? Depends on what are you interested
I'll
in,
read
you
almost
know?
anything. As long as it's not something completely
Yeah.
like benign, like a weird fiction or something.
Okay, that's definitely my specialty, but okay, we'll put that aside.
You're not going to talk me into reading
Yeah.
Twilight, put it that way, or whatever.
Oh Lord, even I didn't read Twilight. Come on,
I
that
don't
is
know.
so what 2008, 2009, right? I don't even remember.
Oh dear.
Um, I would definitely have a look into the it's called the network of economics.
Okay,
That is one of the books.
gonna get
Yeah.
that written down.
So yeah, yeah, network economics.
Economics, and is that just a lot of the stuff that you were talking about there?
Yeah, yeah. That's the one that I started what about 2 weeks ago. I'm not reading every
No,
day, so it's kind of taking yeah,
I'm
I'm
really
not.
bad with reading every day.
But it's hard because I like reading, and usually when I get into a book, I'm like, you know, of course addicted to it, but it's just been hard to kind of get back into the routine. But it's good. It's good. It's not boring. It's not the book. It's me.
Yeah,
I'm the
yeah.
problem.
Like
It's not the
I'll
book.
get into a book and then I'll quickly
Yeah.
finish it in a couple of days, and then I won't pick another
Mhm.
one up, or well, I won't download another one from my Kindle
Yeah.
for another month or something. It's just down to the
Yeah. Do you know
laziness
what
of
the
what should I
problem
read
is?
next sometimes.
Yeah. It's the gap. The
Yeah,
gap that you allow yourself to create is the problem. So don't let yourself create a gap. Don't do that to
that's the
yourself.
trouble. We're the problem,
And
not the books. Um,
yeah, well, yeah, it's us. It's not the books. Yeah, definitely.
what makes you feel inspired? I know this is a completely weird and random question.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. On a Friday night, really? I'm
It's
joking.
deep, Friday
What
night,
makes
just
me feel
let it all out.
yeah. What makes me feel inspired? Oh wow. What does make me feel inspired? I guess it's kind of like I don't know if vicious cycle is the right term, but it's kind of like a loop. So my goals are what make me feel inspired. As in the things that I see and that I'm like, oh yeah, I want that for myself as well. You know, that's kind of my inspiration. Does that make sense? Like the idea of certain things or the idea of doing a certain thing, of living a certain life kind of inspires me or motivates me to do the things that I
What, like a
do, you
lifestyle
know?
goal or like a work life goal sort of thing, like going, oh, I really wish I
Yeah,
could get to that level.
not just like professionally or in terms of lifestyle, but also spiritually, when I see certain people, reacting or acting a certain way, I'm like, wow, I really want to get to that level of peace, for example, or to that level of clarity. So I think just having an inspiration or having like the target or having like a something to look up to is what makes or what inspires me, kind of thing. I mean, there's also people that inspire me, of course, my parents, my siblings, and the people in my life that inspire me, people who are not in my life that inspire me. But in the end, it's kind of like the end result, the things that I see and that I idealize. I'm like, yeah, wow, I kind of want to get to there, to that stage. I kind of want to also be on that level.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Hard question, sorry. I know it's a vast answer, but it's a
Hey, some
vast
of these
question
questions I
too.
might not have an answer to. Maybe that's that's
Yeah.
part of it.
What makes you
Me,
inspired?
I think the
Yeah.
easiest thing for me to say is I like the idea of building something,
Yeah.
whether
Okay.
that's something like an
Yeah.
Instagram or like something physical, um,
Yeah.
or like I'm a big picture guy. I think like my head's in the clouds a little bit. I think that's what my parents would say, or my mum would definitely say, is like you have
Yeah.
completely unrealistic expectations of everything.
Oh Lord.
I'm that guy.
Come back to earth. Come back to earth.
Yeah, I'm definitely that guy. I'm that guy who goes, yeah, I can make YouTube full time. Why not? Or I'm
How does it feel actually? Because from what I hear, it's stressful, From what I hear, it takes up a lot of your time. So how do you manage?
well, I'm not working at the moment from COVID, so
Okay, fair enough.
we
Uh-huh.
have older
Okay.
people in the house, so we didn't want to take that risk. So
Yeah.
living off savings, like yourself, like I'm sure quite a few people are at the moment. Um, trying not to spend anything at all. But yeah, it's not easy because it's fun actually, but it's not easy.
Mhm.
It's that
Yeah.
balance of I'm stressed, but also this is quite fun. Um, doing a video like this is really. I enjoy these ones. The ones that are difficult are like tutorial videos. I don't know if you like the Instagram
Yeah.
tutorial videos, and you write a script that takes you a couple of hours.
Mhm. Yeah.
Then you actually record it, and that takes you another hour. But
Mhm.
you keep on mixing your words up, so you have to keep on
Yeah.
re-recording things. So then that takes a couple more hours, and then you have to edit it to get rid of the bits where you messed up, and that takes another couple of
Yeah.
hours. So it can be like 8 hours for a 15-minute video.
Wow, Lord have mercy. But you know what I say to people all the time? Everyone who knows me has heard this phrase. If you've passed anatomy, you can do anything. Anything.
For me, it would be histology. If you can pass histology. Oh
Histology.
God, that
Lord.
that I still have nightmares about bloody slides and that silly little microscope.
Everything's pink. Everything's pink and purple and
Yeah, it's
red.
like I don't care.
No.
Where's the drill at?
Everything's like a circle and they're either pink, purple, and red. No, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna spend 3 months doing this. Like, what? 3 months? Oh, please no.
What is that to see?
Yeah, it's just a bit much, isn't it?
No, no. Yeah.
But no, yeah, I'm the big picture
And
guy.
trust me, there's more. There's more. There's more. No, I remember my first anatomy lesson. Lord of mercy. I even remember posting on Facebook because back then I was still posting on Facebook because Facebook was still a thing.
Yeah.
Not
It
anymore,
it
clearly.
died like 2015,
Um,
2016, didn't it? I think.
Something like
Guessing.
that, yeah. And I remember saying, "Nah, it's game over." Like there is no way I can I can even pass in the anatomy exam. There's no way. I was so shocked by it. I was literally so shocked, because of course, if you've never had anatomy before and you go to anatomy lesson and you start being told about all these things, you're
It's
like,
never
what?
ending.
Like who had the time? Yeah, who had the time to make up all of these structures? Like who does this to themselves? Who is that self-toxic? And yeah, it was tough. So
I quite like the anatomy like in the dissection room. Not that we were doing any
yeah,
dissections, but we
yeah,
would
of
do it in
course.
little groups. And I don't know, me and my friend Anshul, I think he's working in London now. I need to speak to him
Mhm.
actually. It's been a long time, but you we'd pick up the tongue and everyone's got
Yeah.
gloves on. We drop it on one of the girls' hands while they're not looking, and then you
Yeah.
just hear screams. It was
No
so fun. It
way.
was so funny.
No
Yeah, I don't. Surprisingly, they still talk to us, but that's.
way. Surprisingly.
I'm not sure why. Maybe they're hating or something. I don't know. But yeah, we used to love it. But it was just like so extensive. Like you learn one layer, and then goes, okay, now let's go a little bit deeper, then a bit deeper, and it's like, oh my god, how much more is there to learn?
Yeah, literally. Excuse my language, but anatomy takes the piss. But then you get to pathology, and then you're like, oh, okay, so there is
Hmm.
worse.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, it was good times. Tough, but good times.
Yeah, I enjoyed the anatomy. The slides got me though. That was the bit that I really couldn't
Yeah,
hack.
yeah. I'm not a microscopy person for sure. I'm not good with microscopes. I'm not good with these slides. I'm not good at identifying these microscopic
Mm.
things. Leave it for my sister. She's a biomedical scientist. She can do it all. Not for
Yeah,
me.
send her all your histology and your samples to find out what's going on. Uh,
Yeah.
what were we even talking about before this? It's just
We were talking about books and yeah, I think
books
that
and
was
YouTube or something. I don't know.
book. Yeah. Oh yeah, YouTube videos. Yeah, and dealing with YouTube and
Have you done something like this before, by
yeah,
the
all
way?
the
Is this your
ethics.
first ever appearance on something?
No, this is my first time doing something like this actually.
Guys who are watching, how do we think Ellie's do? No, we're not calling you Ellie. We're
Can you
calling you
imagine
Izzy
like
now. That's what we're calling you, isn't it?
Izzy? Yeah, it's either Eloise
So
or Izzy.
how's Izzy doing?
Anything else is not accepted.
Maybe if I'm getting really bad, just start
I
saying
mean, I
Doc.
think
That's
well, according to these comments, or
yeah,
what do you guys
lots of
think?
great
Please
compliments.
let me
Yeah.
know.
Uh,
Am I worthy of a Friday night, guys? Am I?
well, we're hanging on 21. So yeah, I think you're doing fine. What how do you kind of consume YouTube and Instagram? How have you found the whole social media and dentistry thing? Because obviously, you've connected with me a couple of months ago, and then I stopped doing Instagram lives because I just got sick of them.
Yeah.
And my
Hmm.
phone kept on overheating, which was a real issue. Uh,
Yeah,
it literally just would
I
would
feel you.
would overheat and
Hmm.
stop.
Yeah.
Um, so how have you found that whole dental community online, whatever you want to call it?
I mean, honestly, I cannot put a point to it. I cannot tell you, yeah, the exact date or time or how I thought of it. I really do not remember how I started to kind of navigate the dental world in on social media. I really could not. But I think it was through other friends that are now
Right.
dentists, or, who are older and became dentists before me. I just see a story, a repost, for example, and kind of click on the repost, and it will take me to a certain page. And then from that page, it will take me to other pages. So that's how it kind of, started. I am in touch with a lot of Brazilian dental pages. I don't know why, but they seem to
You
be
speak
quite.
Portuguese?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wish I spoke
yeah.
more
I'm from
Portuguese because
Lisbon.
the Brazilians are really top of their game.
Yeah, they
Uh,
are. Yeah, the
wow.
dentistry in Brazil is, up there definitely. So I think, yeah, I do follow quite a lot of Brazilian dental
Mm.
pages. So yeah, I think that's how it started. Yeah, definitely through reposts. Reposting is very useful. So if you want to grow your page, make sure your friends repost and repost and
Yeah,
repost.
share on
Yeah,
story. That's what you got to get
yeah.
doing. Um,
Yeah, but I definitely don't spend that much time. Like the way I use social media is not, mostly dental stuff or something like that. I'd say maybe 40% dental and
yeah,
then the rest. Then you have the rest kind of thing. But yeah, it's good. It's nice. You learn a lot of things, especially through the comments, when you see other dentists commenting certain, let's say, diagnoses or whatever, you learn a lot of things, other perspectives, other treatment methods. And it's great because social media is kind of like a way to globalize and kind of network and expand our network.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's great yeah, it's great to see how other dentists do things, how they would do certain things. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
just wonder because obviously I've got a weird perception of the dental online community because I'm up to my neck in it and I'm
Yeah.
kind of like I need a holiday but I can't go
Yeah.
anywhere, so I don't really have an excuse or anything like that. But it's
Yeah.
interesting to see how guys who can easily dip in and out are actually using it and stuff like that. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, I think there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool
How
guys
did
out there.
you like? How did this idea of creating Dentist of Insta come about? How did you? What inspired you to do it?
It's again really really selfish. um,
It's okay. You gotta do what you gotta
so I
do.
failed finals, so I failed finals, and then I retook in November,
Yeah.
which means if
Hmm.
you're working in the UK, anyone will know that you have to wait till September to start the FD jobs. Yeah,
Foundations. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I had
Hmm.
10 months to do what pretty much
Okay.
nothing. I was really into the gym, and I kept
Hmm.
on seeing loads and loads of um gym feature pages. Do you know the same thing that I'm
Yeah.
doing, but for like people who are just lifting weights, basically. I was like, oh
Yeah.
well, is
Yeah.
there something for dentistry? And there was like medics, there was doctors and stuff.
Hmm.
Everyone's saying you're doing great, by the way. Um, see in the comments.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so I saw it for all these other things, but there was nobody doing like dentists. There was some very specific American dentist things, and they're very
Yeah.
insular.
Yeah.
So I was like, well,
Hmm.
what about the rest of us? So um, I went and started
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was pretty in on off for a while, and then my friend
Hmm.
goes to me, "Oh, I'm going to Sri Lanka." He's working in Dubai. He's like, oh, "I'm going to
Yeah.
Sri Lanka because it's not far away. And it's supposed to be really nice." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm doing nothing. I'll come with you." This was like around Easter time, 2018, and then I was like, "Okay, well, we'll do it." And I kept on posting the people's pictures and stuff like that, and I'd been speaking to people from a few places, just because you featured them, you just find out a bit more about them, stuff like that, kind of like we had.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and then while I was there, I was like, you know what? I've got 6 more months of nothing, and I was like, I booked
Nothingness.
a ticket to go see my grandparents in Kuwait, and then when I was there, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to Australia.
Yeah.
Just went.
Oh wow. And you talk about me and my friend, just going to
I know
Bulgaria as if someone's going to
it's
Nando's.
quite
And you were
funny.
just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna go to like the other side of the
I was
world.
like, I'm already halfway there.
I wish. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Unbelievable.
so
Yeah.
then I obviously I had spoken to some people who were there. I had some friends from uni who had moved to Australia. Um,
Hmm.
so they either told me with places to go and visit and stuff like that. So I think I spent 3 or 4 weeks in Australia, just on my own with a
Yeah.
camera, just going around, taking photos, and then so basically I ramped it up from that point
Hmm.
and then
Okay.
continued since then. But the initial thing was, oh, there's no gym, there's things for gym people and other things, not for dentists. And then the bit where I started becoming really consistent was really selfish because I wanted people to show me around where I'm going.
Yeah.
So that's how it's that's how it's
Listen,
happened.
we're in this world to survive, so I don't blame you.
Yeah,
We're here to survive. Yeah, yeah.
but it's
I actually have a question for
oh yeah,
you,
go
which
for
is
it.
quite, it's a bit, yeah, off topic. It's very off topic. But I've been thinking about it for the past, let's say, 2 months, because I've heard this about medicine and I thought, is dentistry like this also? Do you think that dentistry is like an elitist degree, like for the elite, or like certain people have like an advantage to get to dentistry compared to others demographically?
Maybe. Do you mean like
Hmm.
working class versus middle class versus
Yeah.
Tories?
Yeah. That kind of, yeah. Like,
Sorry if anyone's
okay, let's not get political about it. Yeah. No, let's leave politics and parliament outside of this. But yeah, do you think there's like a pattern? Because I mean, I didn't study
well,
in the
yeah. That I
UK,
mean, with
so
all of
I don't know.
university,
But
there
is there
is.
a pattern where you see that maybe okay, it's all uni degrees, but maybe like the healthcare, especially medicine, dentistry, and veterinary medicine. Do you think there's like a pattern where, it's mostly the middle class or upper class that
Well, who
get
else
there,
can
or not
afford
necessarily?
5, 6 years in uni?
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
the thing. And then
Mhm.
also, if you're in a working class area, for example, I don't know if you're in like I don't know what a working class area in London is where you grew up or whatever, but
Yeah,
how many people in a class will have someone's
yeah.
dad who is a doctor or a dentist? They're more likely to
Hmm.
be. I don't know, trades, white collar, not blue collar. Blue
Yeah.
collar is the manual laborers, isn't it, and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You're more likely to know those kind of things. So you might be like, okay, well, the guy who's like doing the best is a plumber, and actually plumbers do really well, but it's a
Yeah.
manual labor
Yeah.
job. It's not an academic sort of job. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it comes from there, and then it comes from class sizes. I think that's huge. So I
Yeah.
know that
Yeah.
I went for one. I was very lucky. My parents were able to send me to like a private school for secondary school and stuff like that. But I did go to
Yeah.
um, a state-run school for 1 year, and the class
Mm-hmm.
size was like 30, 30, 32, 33, something like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when I'd gone to the other school, you're looking at 18, 20 max. And then as you got further through school, you're
Yeah.
down to like 10. So just
Yeah.
attention
Yeah.
from teachers and
Definitely.
stuff like that. And they push you a lot harder. I think people in,
Yeah.
or the teachers in a state run school, not that they don't
Mm-hmm.
care, they're just too many people to give
Yeah.
one particular people a push.
So much. Yeah. So much attention. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
And then the other
Yeah.
thing was the school that I went to was selective and paid as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just paid. So
Yeah.
I think if you go to
Yeah.
school which is just paid, people can pay your way in. Whereas in that
Yeah.
school, you had to have something about you, and then you
Of
got
course.
sorted into people who were doing really well. They go in one set, and then you get
Yeah.
setted.
Like tears. Yeah. Sets. Yeah.
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 So that
Definitely.
that made a
Yeah.
difference, and I know that uh, in the years that we weren't setted, I did
Mm-hmm.
much worse in the exams where I was in a class with the other people
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to in the subjects where we were setted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if this answers
Mm-hmm.
your question at all, but I think there's kind of like a
No,
whole
no, no. It
commentary.
it 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 does. It does. It does. Because I think that it's something that I read recently, but it's weird that I've never had this conversation with anyone else. Because I usually like to go into these deep topics, let's say, and it's just weird that I've never talked about it with anyone.
Mm.
And yeah, no, I just wanted to have like a second opinion. I
But do you
mean,
notice that
yeah.
yourself? Is that why you'd said it, or is it just something you do?
I mean, you know what? So in Portugal, so where I'm actually, where I was born and stuff, it's definitely medicine and dentistry are definitely for the elite, because
Yeah,
like you said, who can afford to go to uni for 5 or 6 years? It's not Uni's not cheap, like the process of uni, even if it's cheap, like the
is
actual
living
tuition
as
fees,
well.
there's other things to, yeah, exactly. There's living costs. So I know that in Portugal it's actually very, it's very, elitist.
Yeah,
But maybe I thought that the UK, because it tends to be a bit more inclusive, it tends to be a bit more, no, okay, maybe not then. I thought maybe in the UK things are a bit different, but
I
of
think
course
there
I
is a
have no
level.
idea.
There is a level of that
Yeah,
particular sort of thing, but it's more just the way I don't know whether this is intentional and like it's been made to be like this, so they select for the people that they want to be in. But I think
yeah,
those people who are at the lowest rung of society, unfortunately, they don't even
yeah,
think about, oh, I could go to uni.
yeah,
So they don't
yeah,
even have that thought because it's not in
yeah.
their minds, if that makes sense.
Yes,
Um,
of course.
Whereas if you, obviously, if you come from a bit more of a well-off background, everyone's like, you go to uni, that's just what you do,
Yeah, that's just
or you get to a
just
point where you're like doing passion projects or something like that, where you decide
mhm.
I'm gonna make a, I don't know, those guys who do, I don't know, someone like Elon Musk, he's done
Yeah,
PayPal, now he's done Tesla. He's had enough money to, obviously he's an
staying his life in that. Yeah, of
incredibly clever
course.
guy, and very, very
Yeah,
like driven. Not a bad person from what I can tell. I think everything he's
yeah,
doing is great. But if he hadn't had, richer parents, would he been able to give those sort of
yeah.
steps or whatever?
Yeah, you need to have the leverage to be able to kind of
Utilize his
do
gifts.
these things. Yeah, of course. Of course. Having talent is not enough, unfortunately.
No,
Yeah. There's a lot of talented people who don't make it because they just don't have the leverage, they don't have the support, the means to, like you said, utilize their gifts, what they
mm,
have to offer to the world. So yeah, that's literally, yeah, that's yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. But yeah, it's definitely a question that I've had on my mind for a while, and I've just never kind of discussed it.
I think it
But
is definitely a thing. There was definitely,
yeah.
I mean, there were working class people in my course, but there were some
Yeah.
very not working class people as well.
Yeah.
Some very, very
Mm-hmm.
not working class people. So it's one of those.
Yeah.
I think. Um, I don't think anyone discriminates on a when someone comes to an interview. I don't think there's
Mm-hmm.
that
Right.
discrimination,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe people who have been at certain schools have a different way of talking, different way of presenting themselves than
Yeah.
someone's a bit more
Yeah. They
roady,
have.
a bit more of a roadman.
Yeah. Of
You know what I mean?
course.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And they have a different preparation, let's say, right,
yeah,
to sell themselves, because that's what you do in interviews. At the end of the day, you sell yourself.
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah. Which is, yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I think the reason why I kind of started reading about this is because with the whole COVID thing, I read some articles saying that, so many and this is not me throwing shade or just, trying to kind of criticize the NHS or whatever, but, I just read a few articles saying, that so many of our doctors are actually from a certain type of background where they wouldn't understand what it is like to be, working class, or what it is like to have to wait, 2, 3 months to see a specialist. So it's kind of like, I think it all came from the disparities in, the amount of, or let's say the ratio, the proportion of ethnic minorities that have been unfortunately passing away
Mm,
due to COVID or COVID associated diseases. So I guess yeah, that's how I got to the whole, you click one link, another tab opens, and then I got to that specific
I
topic,
think
where it said,
I
oh,
think the one caveat
yeah,
to that,
medicine is actually an elitist
I
degree.
think
Sorry,
the
yeah,
one kind of exception to that is minorities. I think we're
yeah,
more well represented
yeah,
because I don't know. I'm sure there's guy like the guys in the states. I don't know if you heard about this, where Harvard has been actively selecting against Chinese origin or Korean origin sort of people, Orientals.
yeah.
Yep.
I didn't
So
hear
this is
about this.
like
Oh, I didn't hear
it's
about
come
this.
out for the last 25 years or something that they've been like selecting against
Yeah.
um, Oriental looking people basically because
Oh
they
Lord.
do better
Yeah.
than everyone else. So they
Uh
decided,
huh.
okay, so let's just say I have to get 80% and we have to get 80% to get in. They now have to get 85% on 90%.
Oh right. It's to kind of like balance things off, or yeah, yeah,
So they were
yeah. Uh
selecting
huh.
against people where they'd done actually just better, like straight up, they were just better
Yeah.
than other people. So there is that, and that's maybe because you do get in like immigrant populations that idea that you have to work twice as hard as the
Yeah.
like for example if it's a white person in the UK, you have that idea you need to
Yeah.
work harder than them to get the same reward.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
So maybe that's one exception to the rule in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yes,
Yeah. It's complicated. It's not black and white,
you're going
unfortunately.
deep into socioeconomics aren't here right now.
Yeah. Well, you wanted to go deep, so
No,
I'm
this is what
just,
we're about. This
talking.
is what I'm really
Yeah, of
interested in this
course.
stuff. I actually read. Have you read? Is it Rennie Eno Lodge? I always get a name wrong. Um, Why I'm no longer talking to white people about race. That thing, that book.
Oh no, I have not.
Let me just
I
check. That's
have
the
not.
actual name of the book. But my
Yeah.
friend he got me into this book. Yeah, it's Rennie Edo Lodge. Really really interesting
Mhm.
book. That's definitely one to talk about. To read even if you haven't already. And it talks a lot about kind of race. Talks a lot about these kinds of things, but also maybe a bit of
Yeah.
feminist tinge on there as well. Which some
Mhm.
of the bits I agreed with, and some of the bits I maybe didn't agree with so much on there. Um,
Yeah.
but really interesting, really really interesting book
Yeah.
actually, especially having had all the BLM stuff go on in America.
Yeah. 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 Because I mean, we are dentists, right? We're in the healthcare industry, and people might think, okay, all they do is, treat teeth, but that's not true. We treat people, we deal with people, different kinds of people, and it is important to kind of be aware of these things, and I think that a lot of our colleagues, again, not throwing shade, are not, and it's just important to kind of, yeah, just be conscious of what we're doing. Because I think that even us, I mean, even me, as an ethnic minority, I'd say I might have some kind of subconscious, prejudice sometimes, subconscious. So it's important to kind of like check yourself and just, kind of be aware of these things.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, like I told you, it's not, for me, it's not just about the scientific stuff of dentistry. It's not just about the biology. It's not just about the clinical dentistry. It's also about the social dentistry. So, that's what makes it exciting, kind of thing. It's I like it. I mean, I don't like the problems, but I do enjoy the fact that you actually get to kind of deal and kind of contribute in different ways, not
Not
just
just the teeth.
clinically
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Yeah, yeah. You know, you can make a big change, just by being a certain kind of practitioner. And that's what I really enjoy about it. So yeah, that's why I try to kind of be aware of these things.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting question
Yeah.
actually, because um, as an ethnic minority, how did you feel? First of all, growing up in London, because you grew up in London. That's obviously a very diverse place compared to
Yeah.
then moving to Eastern Europe, where like
Mhm.
again, this is my own knowledge. It's just from football. Like if there's
Yeah.
footballers in Eastern Europe who are African or coloured, they're gonna get monkey chants. They're gonna get racist abuse and comments and stuff like that. Did
Yeah.
you did you hear or see things to yourself or other people when you were there?
Okay, so I mean, firstly, so like I told you, I was born in Lisbon,
Yeah,
which I'm not going to say has no, it's
I'm
not.
sure
I'm
they've
not going
got
to say
their
it's not
issues.
diverse at all, but it's not as diverse as London, of course. So I lived there for 10 years, and I was actually the only black person in my school. So
God.
that was something. So when I moved to London, honestly, I don't want to use this term where people say, you see no color, because there's a huge problem with this term, right? But when you move to London from a place like Lisbon, unless you don't want to integrate, unless you really want to make yourself stand out, you don't stand out, because it's just so diverse, it's just so inclusive that you forget that you're different, because you're not different at the end of the day, because there's so many other people that look
There's
like
just
you.
so many
Yeah,
different.
I forgot,
Yeah,
honestly. Honestly, I forgot. But yeah, when I moved to Varna, I was reminded of that. I was definitely reminded.
yeah.
And this is not me throwing shade at Bulgaria, because
No,
I
no.
had
This is just
beautiful
a
moments
your experience.
in
It's not.
Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very happy in Varna. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I had in Varna. So it was great. But of course, every country has its problems. So now we're talking about Bulgaria. Yeah, I was definitely reminded of the color of my skin,
Mm,
from the moment that I landed in the airport, and everyone was just staring, not even like ashamed. It's not like you stare back and they look away. No, you stare back and you're both just staring at each other until they give up, because it's usually them giving up, because I'm not going to give up.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to give up. That was my motto. Yeah, we can stare as long as as you want to. So yeah, it was definitely a change. It was definitely a wake up call in a way. It was definitely a reminder, but you just have to get used to it. You have to get used to the fact that you're going to enter a building and you're going to be stared at, and people are not going to be ashamed to kind of like, if they're with someone else, they're not going to be ashamed to poke the other person and be like, hey, like look, there's someone who looks differently here.
Mm,
So you just have to get used to it. I won't necessarily say that it's, racism. I'm not going to say it's not racism, but a lot of the times I just chose to look at it as curiosity. I just chose to, because that was the least toxic way I
yeah.
chose to deal with it. You can't live every day thinking, oh, this person hates me because of the way I look. No, it's just,
Not
I just
until they
told
give
myself
you a
at the time,
reason
yeah,
to
they're
think that,
just
I suppose.
curious. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Not until you get like a specific reason. And actually, I got a lot of questions throughout my studies. Whenever I went back home, I got a lot of questions. So, but isn't Bulgaria a really racist country? Like, how are you living there? How do you manage? And I was just saying, well, it's okay. I'm sure there are a lot of racist incidents, but me personally, I cannot complain a lot.
Mm,
I have been asked to be taken a picture of. I've been asked to be taken a picture with. I said no. Because no, that was just too much for me. No, sorry. So there have been some weird incidents,
what was the
but
weirdest
you
thing then?
you have
Let's
to
let's
get
hear
used to it.
these.
Yeah, I think the weird. I mean, yeah, people point, people laugh. No, kids laugh, not adults. I think the weirdest thing for me was that, and it wasn't even weird, it's just the, can I take a picture with you kind of thing. That for me, that was a bit
Mm-hmm.
weird because, yeah, like, no, come on, that's just too much. Um, so yeah, whilst I can't complain a lot, let's just say that you have to get used to it and you have to go on with your day. In terms of uni, yeah, I mean, I can't say that things are always fair, you know, but life is not fair, unfortunately. Um, Again, this is me trying to be politically correct,
We don't
I'm
we
not
don't do that
throwing
here.
shade,
What's
no?
political correctness?
Okay. I hope the dean of the Faculty of Dentistry of Medical University of Honor doesn't see this, please.
Have you gotten your
But yeah,
certificate yet? That's
yeah,
all good then.
yeah. Okay, okay, okay. I can do whatever I want to now. Who cares?
No, let's be as fair
Yeah,
as you can.
yeah, of course. No, but yeah, I can't say that things were always fair. Actually, to be honest, I'm gonna be straight. I'm gonna be direct. Things most of the times were not fair. You know, you do have that feeling that, okay, once you have to work twice as hard sometimes, or you have to be twice as much, or you have to look twice as good in the exam, for example, because all of our exams had, like, in the end, had oral
Mm.
exams, to kind of, be treated sometimes half as equally as your other, classmates. So yeah, it was a challenge. I was definitely reminded that I'm not the majority. I was definitely reminded that I belong to a, let's say, a race or to an ethnicity that is, systemically, seen as less than. But, these are the moments where you just have to tell yourself that, you know what, yeah, I look like this. Yes, I am from this place. I do speak like this, or I dress up like this, or whatever. I have these features, but so what? So at the end of the day, we're all going to become dentists. Well, hopefully. Well, actually, not everyone became a dentist, but yeah, hopefully one day for
Most
them.
most of them have.
At the end, yeah, at the end of the day, like, why would I not make it? Unless they make it extra hard for me. They did make it harder, but not extra hard. So yeah, these are the moments where you just have to kind of believe in yourself. And I know it sounds cliche, and I actually hate cliches. Might not look like it. I hate cliches, but what could I do?
Yeah.
Apart from tell myself every day, girl, you have. There's other things to cry about. There's dentures waiting for you in the lab. Cry about that. Forget. What your professors think or what this random Bulgarian from the shop thinks of you. Like, this is just subjective. This is not gonna, in the long term, it's not gonna take you anywhere. So honestly, it actually helped me with my self-esteem, because I had to be stronger. I had to be twice as confident. I had to be twice as tolerant as most of my classmates.
Mm.
So
Well,
yeah,
it's not even
yeah,
just a thing which you might find in Eastern Europe or anything like that. Because
yeah.
the reason I asked that is there's actually a while back. I'm just googled it now. Um,
Hmm.
GP exams, for like your GP surgery in the UK. Uh, they have a pass rate for white doctors at 75%,
Yeah.
and then for BAMEs it's 63. And
Oh Lord.
that's beyond statistical, like, oh, it's just, oh, that's just how it landed that year. That's like a huge difference,
Yeah.
including like UK born and trained people. So that's
Yeah.
pretty, it's not even just, quote unquote, Eastern Europe or whatever you want to call it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just interesting to hear people's kind of experiences out there, and it sounds like it's maybe a little bit more obvious, but the same things are happening here in the States, especially. I mean, it's really obvious in the States, isn't it? So
Yeah. Of course.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I really, when people tell me, "Oh, yeah, but in the UK, it's not really as racist, or these things don't happen," I'm just like, no, there's microaggressions. There are also macro, but I think there's more of microaggressions, which is easier for other people who don't kind of necessarily go through
To
them
ignore.
to not
Yeah.
notice, of course. But it's happening. It's there. You know, this is systemic. This is happening all over the world. It's not just in the US or the whole American continent. It's not just in France, or Italy. This is systemic. This is a global problem. So
Mm.
it is hard for me to hear sometimes that, the UK is this and the UK is that. No, it's happening, it's there, and we kind of have to tackle this issue in the UK as well.
Yeah, it's
It's
literally
happening.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
think you would be. I mean, I think there's probably places where it's way better, and it
yeah.
doesn't
Of
hit
course.
quite as
Yeah,
hard
yeah,
and stuff like that. But the UK, it's like an attitude as opposed to an outright in your face thing.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like if you go to a cashier, they'll be like really happy and like
yeah,
conversational to one person, and then I don't know if someone who's black or Asian or something, they'll just be like, "Got a
yeah,
bag."
yeah.
It's going to be that.
Wow, and I thought it was a London thing. So it's me, it's not London. No, I'm joking.
No,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
actually
No, no.
in my FD. I was in Selby, so it's like a retirement town where I was
Yeah.
working, and I went
Whereabouts is
so
it?
near
Sorry.
York, south of York, so relatively
Oh, so yeah.
relatively
Okay, yeah,
posh,
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of
Yo-
east
Yeah.
slash North Yorkshire. And I went to Tesco one
Hmm.
day, and I'd just been to the gym, so I had my hoodie on, and it was freezing. It's in the UK, it gets cold, especially up north. And
Yeah.
there's a guy, one of the guys literally walked around the shop with me, behind me. I was like, "What you doing?"
Oh
He
my
was like,
gosh.
"I'm just making sure you're not nicking anything."
Wow.
Basic,
Wow. Blunt like that.
just blunt, and
Wow.
it was so and in that same town, if I was walking, I only had to walk down the street. I was living on the same street as the surgery.
Hmm.
On the walk
Yeah.
to the surgery, people would cross over and then cross back
Hmm.
after I'd walked past.
Oh my gosh. No
So I
way.
started playing the game where
No
I would then
way.
cross again.
See, yeah,
Just,
you have to play their
but
game.
it was really, really obvious. I mean, a lot of people in the
Yeah,
town were lovely, but there's
yeah,
definitely that undercurrent.
of
Like that's
course.
not something that's in your
Yeah,
face. Like if you had just been on your
yeah,
phone and
yeah,
walking, you wouldn't have noticed that. But
yeah. But it's already quite on your face, for people to
oh
cross
yeah,
kind of and wait for you and then cross back. That's already quite obvious.
I know. But
I mean,
if
I
you're an
knew.
oblivious kind of person, you might have not. That might have gone over
Oh
your head.
yeah, 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 maybe, yeah. Wow. See, this is what I say. Like people,
Mm.
that's the problem. People are, or some people actually choose to be oblivious. They choose to say no, but just because they're not in the UK, they kind of choose to say that the UK is this paradise that is,
Yeah.
not necessarily. But
No.
wow, shocking. I'm actually shocked.
I'm sure there's like if we ask any kind of BAME person, you'll have some sort of a comment of something weird that's gone on. Like that's not normal. Like that's not normal behavior. That's probably the
Yeah,
most
no, of course,
outright and obvious
be
one where I was
crazy.
literally asked, "Are you trying to steal stuff?" Essentially, so that was pretty bad. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, have I ever been followed in a shop in Bulgaria? Yeah, I think I
I like the
have.
workers while they're just
But
like, yeah,
yeah, by the staff, by the
yeah, yeah,
security, yeah. I think I have, but you know what? After so many things, you're just like, oh, this as well, next kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's annoying. Maybe sometimes you should confront them, but most of the times I'm just like, because there is, like I said, it's not just a language barrier; it's also a
yeah,
social barrier, and it's a bit, if someone's going to follow you, then there's only so much you can say, or there's only so much back and forth that you can have with a person. Yeah, and it's just better to kind of just let them do their job. Stare, of course, because I always stare because I want them to know that I
yeah.
know
That's what's going
that we
on.
both know. I always stare because, yeah, to see if they get a bit uncomfortable as well. But yeah, there's only so much you can say, to be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
It's a crazy world out
tough.
there.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. But here we are, surviving and looking good. So it's all good.
How do they
Yeah,
treat girls in dentistry over there? Flash,
girls
you
in
reckon?
dentistry. I mean, I've never really had a problem, like problems with my patients. I think that because I've, been so focused on
On
the,
the
not
passing.
focused, but I think, yeah, no, on the racial
Mm.
aspect, that I didn't really feel this, the gender aspect of it. I don't really, so I can't really say that, being a female dental student is worse or better than being a male dental student. But I've never had complaints from my my other female
Mm.
classmates who are Caucasians. So I don't think, but I'm not sure if there's a problem. I'm not sure. If
We're not trying to
anything,
find
being a
problems.
girl
Just yeah,
actually, no, no, of course not. If anything, being a girl actually helps sometimes because,
some
the
tears.
aesthetic part, aesthetics, and that part of, because we know dentistry, of course, it's healthcare, but it's also
Yeah,
business. So, and in businesses, you have to look good. So if you're looking good, you're more likely to attract more patients. So if anything, sometimes being a female dentist can help, but that's only an opinion, not necessarily a fact. This is just me thinking out loud, very loud on
yeah,
YouTube. But yeah, yeah,
yeah.
on a global network.
That's it. Yeah, no, it's interesting because I think there is like a huge push. Like there was, to have girls more represented in high up spots and stuff like that in BDA, etc., etc. I don't really know
Mhm,
much, but I don't tend to take, not that I don't take notice. Like
mhm.
I'm not a girl, so I don't really notice if anything's going on and stuff like that. But I
Yeah,
don't know. Just thought I'd ask.
yeah. But I will say to you, I have noticed that, and I think it's not necessarily just a Eastern Europe or Bulgarian thing, but I think in the whole healthcare, even not just dentistry field, the surgery department tends to be dominated by
Mm,
men, and there tends to be a bit of gender related problems in the surgery department. I actually had a teacher say once, in the class, an oral maxillofacial teacher, say, you know, I don't know why they're allowing so many new female residents into the maxillofacial program. I think they're just doing it to kind of make it seem like they're fair, but in reality, we all know that,
we all know.
women are not as
Wow.
good. Yeah, we all know. I didn't know, but apparently we all knew that women are not as good in surgery as men. So yeah, that was just me sitting in my maxillofacial and like listening to this, and I'm just like, oh shit! Like, now look at my other, female classmates, and we're like, oh shit, he really said that, in a university environment. He really said that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So that was that. That was that.
that's old school, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, we all know that women are not as good in surgery as men, but So
Yeah, I'm
that
not going to
was.
parrot that line. I didn't say that. That was someone else who said that, not me, by any stretch. Um,
Unbelievable, the things that we go through.
yeah. What what side of surgery do you think you're gonna go down? Because there's so many different pathways within surgery. You can do perio,
Mhm.
you can do implants, max fax, although apparently, apparently not,
Yeah.
according to that
Uh,
guy.
no, don't worry. That guy has
Not put you off.
has not had a negative impact on me. No, no, of course not. Um, so things like, I'd say resective surgery. So things like cysts, tumors, interventional surgery, drainages, that
Like an
kind of
oral
stuff.
surgeon as opposed to a
Abscesses.
perio
Yes.
surgeon. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely the stuff that I'm more into, for sure.
So
Yeah. What do you think about surgery?
um, I thought I would really like it, and when I did
But
it in uni, we were doing surgical extraction stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool, and yeah, it's nice to be able to take a tooth out like that. But I'm just like, I can't be bothered with all this. Um,
no way.
yeah, you
Wow.
have to gown up and all this thing. Like the only reasons why I'm gonna end up doing any is gonna be like root end resections and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Oh
that's
wow.
it.
Wow, that's like the boring side of surgery.
Yeah,
No, I'm
it's
joking.
it's not. I think it's just it's not that it's not for me, or done a double negative there.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not for me. It's more
Hmm.
I prefer other things more, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah. No, no, of course, yeah. It's not that you don't like it. There's just other things that you like
Yeah.
better.
Like I'm
Yeah,
not
of
an
course.
aesthetics guy
Oh, that's fine.
by any stretch of the imagination. I'm much
Yeah.
more I like the challenge of, okay, this tooth is a little bit, it's a little bit effed essentially. Um
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
gonna try and save it with some endo. Might have to do a bit
Yeah.
of deep margin elevation on there. I
Yeah.
like that
Okay.
kind of thing, and maybe also I know not a lot of endodontists do this, but kind of maybe scanning the prep and then putting it on straight away, that kind of thing. Like
Yeah, okay.
digital
Yeah.
dentistry, X,
Digital, yeah.
Fates, some endo, or maybe the other way around, endo
Hmm.
plus digital. I think that's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
I like my
Yeah.
toys,
Yeah.
scanners and stuff like that.
Yeah. You like your
Yeah,
technology. Yeah. Yeah. I like my needles and
big
my
big knives.
syringes and my yeah, my knives. I like my
Yeah.
sutures and my flaps, you know. Nah, yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. No, of course. But that's good because, dentistry is so
Mm.
vast that we need people that like different kinds of things. We can't all like the same thing,
Yeah.
We definitely cannot. It's gotten to that point where, it's just so different. There are things that, orthodontics, of course, everything is like, interdisciplinary, but ortho compared to, surgery, like the skills or the things that you have to do or the things that you have to enjoy are so different that, you have to have people who have
An interest in that.
different
Yeah.
preferences. It is what it is. That's how it should
You
be
can't, you can't.
anyways.
I don't understand these guys that are trying to do everything. I think there's like 1 in 1,000 who can, or just talented enough to be good enough to do a bit of everything.
Yeah.
But there's so many people
You
trying to
know
do
what? Yeah.
a couple of cases of Invisalign and bonding, a couple of cases of facial aesthetics, a couple of cases of this. And it's like, guys, you can't be good at everything. You're being exceptionally average at lots and lots of different things.
That's so true. And you know what? It's funny because I actually sometimes I go on, people's pages on Instagram and I see, yeah, I do orthodontics, I do Invisalign, but I also do surgery and I also do this. And
Sedation
I'm just like,
implants,
okay, so what?
a lot.
Yes, sedation implants. Okay, so what are you a specialist in? Because I just see specialist in this, specialist in that, specialist in this, and I'm just like, wow. So like how many? Like, are you an octopus? How many tentacles have you got?
It's
Like, so how
tempting.
are you trying to do everything at the same time?
In the
Yeah,
UK,
it's
it's really
tempting, but
tempting because you can go on all these courses and all your friends are going on
yeah,
Invisalign, and some like, oh,
yeah,
I'm going on the Invisalign course on like the 10th of September. I was like,
yeah,
they've got a space. I was like, oh, shall I go? I almost
yeah.
booked it. I was like, no, I'm never gonna actually consistently do any Invisalign. So why am I gonna go on the course to spend $1,000 on the course? But I reckon there's guys out there like,
For the sake
I
of the
don't know if I
certificate.
like it or not, so maybe I will do the course. And
Yeah,
then you end up having done
yeah,
like 9 courses, and you're just like, wow,
yeah. But then you spent your time doing 9 courses and you haven't actually
on one thing.
focused on getting the experience of one thing at least. How many, I don't know, fillers have you done? If you have like 9 or 10 courses, like what's your experience then? Kind of thing. But yeah, yeah, there are people out there trying to be everything and do everything, and
I don't know how you could relax.
I'm definitely not one of those people, and I'm not trying to be one of those
I don't
people.
know how you could
But
relax
good
after
luck to
that.
those
Can you imagine
people.
like you're trying to be good at all these things and like, okay, now 9 to 5's that, or maybe these guys are working till 8, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. But then just imagine you've got like your outside life as well. Like I'm trying to be really good at
yeah,
videography and photography and stuff like that. Like if I was trying to be
yeah,
good at all these other things as well, that's gone right out the window.
yeah.
Mm.
Gone like this,
Podcast is
like
finished.
down the drain. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Forget the 1,000 subscribers by the end of
Oh yeah,
2020.
exactly.
Forget
Where
that.
are we at? Let me have a look. Ooh, 532. I think we've gained 7. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Excellent.
That's good. Thank you guys.
Have I
I
yielded
think
something then? Have I added something to the
you've
team?
done a stellar job so far. Yeah. We're actually on 88 views as well, so it's gone really well. By the way, guys, if you are joining us, we do this every single Friday. Uh, get your comments in, all that sort of stuff, and if you've got any questions for either of us as well,
Ask
yeah, ask the
questions.
questions.
Yeah.
Perfect
Ask
kind of
questions.
thing.
Yeah.
Um, we're
Yeah.
halfway between a
That's
podcast and halfway between a Q&A. Just depends on how many
yeah.
how many
Yeah.
questions we get and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah. Oh, someone said that you're looking
that's
good,
my friend. Yeah.
Steve. So what? It doesn't count.
He may be sarcastic. I don't know. I'll have to find out.
Like when your mom says, "Oh no, you are pretty, you are handsome," and it's like, yeah, but you're my mom. You have
Yeah,
to
you're
think that,
supposed to say that.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Nah,
Uh,
appreciate it
and then
still.
grandma's tell you the truth is like, oh, you're looking a bit skinny.
Oh yeah, you've gained a few pounds. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. No, my
So
grandma said that. She either says, oh, you're looking a bit fat. I was like, have you stopped eating? or like just like really cuts to the bone, right? Just
Yeah,
hit
yeah,
that spot of
yeah. They have no, like, they're savage.
no
No
filter.
chill. They have no chill. Literally, they will say it directly, and you just have to take it in.
Mm, no, that's
And they're never satisfied either. You're either too, a bit too chubby, or too skinny. They're never satisfied with the way you look. They love you, but still, like, come on, girl, just for once be satisfied.
yeah.
For once, just say that I look good.
What
Unbelievable.
do I get told off for? I get told off for not being married by my grandma. That's the one.
No, but oh Lord,
Let's
oh
not get
Lord, how
started
old
there.
are you? May I ask? May I ask this in, you know, on a global network?
Sorry, how old am I? 28.
Yeah, 28. Oh, you've
Just
got
just
time.
gone 28. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got too many
you've got
things to
time.
do. I've got too many things to do.
Yeah,
Unless there's someone that just really hits the spot, I've got too many things to do.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there is a lot to be done. There is a lot to be done. There's too much growth to be done. There's a lot of post-grad courses to be going on,
Yeah, I mean, what if I go back to uni and yeah,
Yeah.
that could happen.
Have you
That's
thought about specializing? Is that something on your mind, or
yeah, endo. I mean,
yeah?
pretty
Endo.
much I'm set. Endo
Endo's cool.
or
Endodontics is cool. Definitely.
endo or maybe private general, but like not specialized, but doing lots of endo, like doing an MSc or something. Because you
Yeah,
can either
yeah,
do the full blown thing where you get an MCLin endo in the
yeah.
UK, or you can do like a 2 year part time
Postgrad.
thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Part
Or
time,
postgrad diplomas
yeah.
too. Yeah. There's a lot of options. Yeah. Or MSCs, like you said. Yeah.
I was actually
Yeah. Why?
speaking to someone about this yesterday. He goes, "Look, do you want to be?" Because I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll go back to uni and do that." And he goes, "Look, do you want to be a specialist or do you want to be really good? Not that you can't be
At the
both,
dentistry.
but
Yeah.
like,
But
do you want the title? Is that more important to you than actually being really, really good?" So I
yeah.
think that's maybe part of what I need to think about because
Hmm.
you can get really, really good. You just have to do lots and lots of it and go on training,
Yeah. Of course.
continually get
Yeah.
training.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. That's true. I mean, yeah. There's definitely some things from dentistry that I would not cry if I never did them ever
Dentures.
again. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Dentures is right up there. I'm just gonna say it right out.
Crowns. Prosthetics, goodbye.
Have you looked at the kind of the digital stuff though, like digital crown,
You
scanning
know
and stuff
what?
like
It's
that?
actually before the whole COVID thing. I went to a conference. It's called International Digital
Mm.
Days. It was in Paris.
Oh,
Yeah,
tell me
for
about
three
this.
days. Okay, don't ask me too much because yeah. I mean, I went to it. That's when I realized, wow, okay, yes, I am in sixth year. I'm in my final year, but I do not know anything about dentistry. I was lost. I'm not gonna lie. I was
Mm.
like, oh shit, oh shit. I just swore like twice.
I don't
Anyways,
even have a bleep, you know.
oh crap. Oh, it's
It's fine.
okay.
I've ticked the
I think
box that
I heard.
says this is not made for children, so we're all good.
Okay, good. So yeah, that was a major realization, because it was kind of like it was guided surgery, but also with a digital side of
Mm.
it. So guided surgery plus digital prosthodontics. It was interesting. It was interesting, especially the surgery side, because I like the surgery side. I like the periodontics, the implantology side. Not so much the prosthetics. So yeah, it was good to know. It's good to know what's out there. It's good to know what's coming. It's good to know how much dentistry is growing, because it is growing so much every day. Every year there's something new, and it's actually amazing that something that that started as such a small and let's say simple thing is now so
Yeah.
advanced, technologically. So it was definitely a good experience, but let's just say that although it was a good experience, maybe I did not know enough to get the full benefits of it, let's say, because it was a bit advanced, let's say.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, but it was good. It was good. And I definitely advise, people who are studying right now, if you want to go to conferences, go now, because you usually get like 50% discount.
As a
Once you're
student.
like a full blown practitioner, yeah, as a student, Once you're a full-blown practitioner,
It's
it's
expensive.
over. You're paying full
Wow.
price. Yeah, yeah, you are paying full price, and it is not cheap. So go to your conferences, go to your congresses, do all the courses that you can do as a student because it's just cheaper. And why not? Why not?
Yeah.
There's so many options.
And
Yeah,
you'll maybe learn something small, and then that'll kind of
yeah,
make you realize something that you've been taught in uni because you've seen something really interesting, and now something else makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And I mean, of course, dental, dental students, us in the dental world, we don't have to specialize like the medics. But if you are thinking of specializing, but you're not sure, it's also good to go to these congresses, and they may shine a light on you. They may also not, but
You don't know until you try.
it's a good experience. Yeah, of course, these extracurriculars are always a good experience, and you also get to network. You get to know very influential people, very very
That's why I
renowned
go.
dentists. Yeah. I, you know what? Yeah, I'm too shy to go up to them, but yeah, it's a good opportunity to get to know like the pioneers of dentistry. So, and you never know, yeah, like it might be good for you in the future.
Yeah.
So, do it, guys. Do it. Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
and most people are really
advice.
nice. Like the guys who are like
Yeah,
lecturers and stuff. I
yeah.
went
The
to
open.
Chicago
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
Midwinter meeting, which next time it's
Yeah.
an actually in-person event, definitely, guys, if you're watching, go to that because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Chicago's a really, really nice city. It's got all the we took a lot of photos when we were there. We had some good stuff. Me and my friend when we went. Annoyingly,
Yeah.
neither of us took our cameras. We were just on iPhones.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
we're
I
gonna
mean,
have to go
nowadays you
back.
don't.
How terrible is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
But there was like 1,300 stands in the trade fair. 1,300
1,300.
stands. Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Wow. Yeah.
Anything you can think of
Wow.
that people are testing out and like innovating on,
Yeah.
that was there.
Yeah.
Freebies
Mm.
left, right, center.
Just when you think you've seen everything in dentistry, no, there's a new invention. You're like, wow, that's great because it's only going to make my life easier. And that's something we definitely need, It's definitely something we
Yeah,
need.
and
Yeah.
especially if you're active on like dental Instagram and stuff like that, you start recognizing a
Yeah.
lot of the guys that are there, and then
Yeah.
if you're really
Yeah.
active, they'll recognize you as well, which didn't
Hmm.
really happen to me the first time, but I'm sure next time I might get accosted a couple of times, because
Yeah.
I didn't put my own face on Dentist of Insta till this lockdown period, so no one knew who I
Uh-huh.
was
Okay.
basically until after.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but there was one particular session I went to, it was an all day session on endo, and my feet were
Hmm.
hurting because we'd been walking so much the day before. So I didn't leave the
Yeah.
theater in the lunch break, and I just like hobbled up to the guy, and it's Brett Gilbert, so you probably see me do loads of stuff with him on Instagram and stuff. But that's why,
Yeah.
because like
Hmm.
we had a good long hour chat just about endo and life and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, we've got to connect online. So it's
Yeah.
really, really good for that, and really, you meet these really
Yeah.
incredible and like inspirational
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, they're definitely, let's say, very humble, like approachable for
Yeah,
sure, yeah. So, yeah, that's definitely a good thing, definitely. Because I remember, and the thing is, it was actually my first solo trip, so I went by myself. It was only in Paris. Okay, fair enough. It's not
another
another
continent.
continent or
Yeah,
something, but still, for me, I mean, for me, because it was my first solo trip, it was quite a big thing. And yeah, I didn't really know where to look sometimes. Sometimes I just had my coffee in my hand. I was like, oh shit, everyone's kind of together and I'm just here. And I just gained the courage and I went to sit next to, it was a periodontist. I think they were from Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, we had a nice conversation and
mm,
it was good. It's good. Even if you don't have like an end goal to this, it's just good to kind of hear what they have to say because of course they have more experience. Usually they've done things that you
yeah,
haven't. So they can shed some light on you as well. So yeah, definitely conferences and congresses are a big yes for me. A big
big do
yeah,
it,
definitely.
just do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, do it. Do it. That's my number one advice for tonight. Do it. Just do it,
You're
guys.
turning into what's his name? Crap, the guy just shouts, "Just do it!" at the camera. Oh, it's gone up my
Yeah.
head. It's like the meme.
It's a meme. Oh, I can't think of it now.
I'm going to have to Google it.
Mm.
We have to Google it.
But yeah, do it. Like that's why not? Just
Shia
do it.
LaBeouf. You're turning into Shia LaBeouf.
Shout to do it at the camera since
Have
when?
you not seen
I
this?
don't think I've ever seen that meme. No, I don't think I've ever seen
I'm
it.
going to send it to you because it's so damn funny. Here you go.
Watching me like look at it and not laugh on YouTube, you know.
Just like very different sense of humor.
Fake.
Let's see.
Let's see.
You can't not laugh at this. I mean, it gets me every single
You're
time.
putting too much pressure on me to laugh, you know. Now I feel pressured. Okay, I'm gonna
Guys who are watching, who's
wait.
seen the
Okay,
Shia LaBeouf shouting "Just do it" at the camera for like 10 minutes?
I've never seen it.
I'm not sure I could put this on
No,
screen, but because I might get copyright strike. But guys, check that out. It's so
just
funny.
back to it. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but it's not that funny.
I think it's a guy thing that we find it funny. Maybe
Oh,
I'm gonna say
okay,
that.
okay. I accept your justification. Whatever works for you. I'm not
But
judging.
he's done it in front of a green screen, so you can basically put any background onto it. So
Oh,
so people have just
yeah.
gone. It's one of those things that are like on forums. People have just gone to town, just putting weird things in the background. And
Oh, Lord.
it gets more and
Okay,
more
so it's become
meta.
like a
Yeah,
trend. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
spend too much
Okay,
time on
fair
the
enough.
internet. That's all it shows, really.
Yeah, I thought I spent too much time on the internet, but I've actually tried. I'm trying to not spend as much time, and I think it's working. But it's work in progress, let's
Yeah.
say. That's my motto for 2020. It's just work in progress.
I asked
Slowly,
you this
slowly.
before, and you were like, "No, don't ask me. What are you like really into these days? Like something that I don't know. Just
If I didn't ask you, why are you asking me this? You know,
because
unbelievable.
why not?
Because I said no. No, I'm joking. No, I'm not joking. I'm half joking. Maybe one third joking. What am I into as in what am I up
As
to?
in like, so last week we spoke to James, who's just big nut on cryptocurrency. I spoke to some other guys who, you know, Ben. He does. He plays a lot of golf, which is a bit boring, but he does all sorts of other things as well. And then there's someone who's doing
Mm-hmm.
improv, just anything along those lines, which is slightly off track. That's like a bit
Well,
interesting.
I really wish I could tell you, yeah, I'm doing all these things which are so different and so extracurricular, and I'm, growing as a person, and I have so much to offer, and yeah, I really wish I could say this. I
Yeah,
really, really wish, trust me, and maybe one day I'll be able to say it. But honestly, I have
you're just
to, I
chilling
have to
right now.
disappoint you. Yeah, I'm just like, yeah. Hey, I just finished my degree,
I think
Let
that's
me
the
chill
thing.
for a
Like, it's
bit.
taken me a couple of years since, well, maybe a year
Yeah,
after to me start doing something like a podcast. You just kind of need to
yeah,
sit back and assess what you want to do before.
yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
reevaluating life and what I want for my life, because now that this, okay, I wanted to become a dentist, and now I'm a dentist.
it's
Now
like
what
now
do I
what?
want kind of
Yeah,
thing. It's yeah, now what?
you're at now
Now
what?
what?
So you're trying to find the
Yeah,
ideas. Okay, fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah, literally like what do I want for the rest of my life? Because what do I want for the rest of my life? If you were to ask me, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? I think I'd have
I
a
hate that
clue.
question.
Oh, I hate these cliche questions in general, but whatever. But yeah, like I really don't know. I wish I knew, but I don't know. If you were to ask me that 6 years ago, I'd be able to tell you.
Yeah,
But
because
now,
it's like
yeah, because I was working towards something.
you had an idea back then. I think
Yeah,
the older you get, like either you get really focused or you just like, ooh, where am I going?
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to. This is why I'm in the Alps, in the mountains. I'm trying to kind of find a purpose, a
Mm,
bigger purpose. Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you were to tell me 2 years ago or 3 years ago, yeah, the guy's gonna be talking on a show on YouTube. possibly,
You
possibly,
minimize it so much.
possibly
The
for a
guy.
living, you'd be like,
Uh,
no, that's not right. I think you've missed a step here. It's some other
the
guy.
point. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're talking about a different guy, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, life can surprise you. So maybe I'm just waiting for my,
surprise.
for a fairy to come and knock on the window and say, you know what, this is your next goal, this is your next adventure, kind of thing, you
Mm.
know? Yeah, I have, honestly, I wish I had a clue, but right now, I just kind of want to start working. And I mean, it's not that I want to, but I have to. I'm joking. I want to and have to. If my parents are not watching this, I have to start
Yeah,
working and kind of gain experience, of course. Um, and I think that the rest will come with time. I mean, I hope that it will come with time, you know.
yeah.
I don't think so, but I hope so. Yeah.
It's always difficult because you go through like school and you're like you have to get into uni, you have
Hmm.
to go and get a degree or whatever. Then when
Yeah.
you got that, it's just like okay, well, I'm not just gonna work. I'm
Yeah.
not just
What
gonna
now?
work. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that's the thing. Like the guys in the UK, I know especially, as soon as lockdown hit, go
Mhm.
okay, we were working way too hard for way too little in return. Especially,
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you're thinking, well, there needs
Yeah.
to be more to what we're doing here.
Definitely. There definitely has to be more
Mm.
than me going to work from 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or 8 to 4. There has to be. And there better be. There better be. Otherwise, I'm not going to be impressed with the future. You know, 2020's already been what it's been. So the future better be better. Or I guess I have to make the future better. But that's the thing. I kind of have to reevaluate and kind of just reflect and, ask myself, so what do I want? Not have other people ask me, because that's not going to go down well, but ask myself, so
Yeah,
what do
but I
you
mean that's
want?
kind of the point of a podcast. It's supposed to get you thinking.
Yeah, when I go to bed, I can start thinking about that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think
Yeah,
you're in a different. You may be in a different stage. Like if I ask, someone who's just stopped, been stopped in their tracks from smashing work and stuff
yeah,
like that, and now they've had time to think and reevaluate, I might get really a
yeah,
different answer from them because I think those kind of people, they go, "Oh God, I was really stressed." Whereas you've been
yeah,
expecting the stress because you're in uni because it's
yeah,
supposed to be a bit stressful to get through and stuff like that. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, definitely. People in different stages of life, different walks of life, will have different answers to that question, for sure, of course. But I think it's actually beneficial also to me to kind of, see people who have been working and had to stop working for a while because of COVID, and ask themselves those questions. Actually been beneficial to me because now I kind of have the heads up, and I get to ask myself, wait, you don't want to be in that position as well. You don't want
yeah,
to be in that position where you work for so long and for so many hours, and that's all you have to yourself. That's all you have in life. So try to not go in that direction as well, kind of thing. So it's kind of like, yeah, you kind of learn from other people's, let's not say mistakes, but from other people's
yeah,
experiences, right? So I do have the upper hand in that sense. And that's why for me, I'm really trying to kind of just take it one step at a time, because I do not, if you ask me where do I see myself in 5 years, I won't be able to tell you. But if you ask me where do I not see myself in 5 years, then I can tell you that it's definitely not, working robotically and mechanically, and not being able to, tell you about my other experiences because I'm just so busy being tired all the time from,
working all the
working
time.
and being
Yeah,
getting surgery. Yeah. So that's the answer that I can give you for now. You know, that's definitely something that I have to think about. We all have to think about.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
another
it's
I
really
have.
important, isn't it, to kind of know
Yeah.
to work out what you want. I think
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
important.
Of course.
On a
Definitely.
slightly different track, is there anything that people misunderstand about you, or is there something that I should have asked you that I didn't know to ask?
Uh hmm. Well, I don't know. If you mean personality wise, for example,
Anyway, and take that any way you want.
um, I mean, I don't know how well I'm doing right now on this podcast, but I'm way more timid than I look.
So
For
I've done a good
example.
job bringing you out of your shell a little.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. More credit to myself
Yeah,
though, but
yeah,
yeah.
you've done the good job. We've had the
You get
feedback
2
already,
points.
haven't we?
Yeah. So yeah, this is like this is definitely me challenging myself. This is not the kind of thing I
Yeah.
do. I can't believe I actually had a friend today ask me, "How did you even get there?" And I was just like, "Yeah, how did I get there? Why did I get there? Like, why did I even have this idea? What am I doing? Kind of thing. And is there a way to kind of backtrack?"
Oh dear.
But no, no, but it's been a good challenge. So yeah, personality wise, yeah, I guess that is one very important thing. This is faking until I make it, this is me faking it kind of thing. But apart from that, I think there are quite a few other things that people do misunderstand about me, but it's much deeper than I think that's a whole different conversation to be had.
Mm.
Um, Yeah. I mean, if you have any more specific questions regarding that, maybe it'll be easier to answer them because this is a huge topic.
I feel like you maybe don't
Yeah.
want to talk about part of it. I don't know if you're maybe.
Maybe not.
All right, what's the most that you'll reveal then that you think?
I mean, reveal is a strong word,
Or
It's a very strong word. Um, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, to be honest. I just feel like, yeah, times people who are not close to me, people who are not, or even people who think they're close to me, but they're actually not close to me, they don't really know the real me, think that I might be a certain kind of person that I'm not. But then that's kind of me answering the question with the question. So it's kind of me like explaining a word with the word in the
yeah.
explanation. Yeah. Um, but actually, at the same time, I'm as real as I make it out to be. This. You get what you get. This is what you get,
I mean,
kind of thing.
these are not easy questions. These are like late Friday.
No,
These are
that's
late Friday night questions now. These are like
yeah.
really tearing
I,
down the walls almost.
yeah, I didn't think things were gonna get so personal. No, but it's okay. Um, no, I mean, to be honest, I don't. The thing is, people don't really come up to me and say, "Oh, I think you're like this, and that." So I can't say, "Well, most people think I'm this way, but I'm actually this way."
Mm.
But I am aware that people think I'm a certain kind of person that I am actually not. So if
Well,
that
I
makes
mean, that'd
sense,
be really weird if
even though,
people just came up to each other and went, "Oh, so you're like really loud and whatever," and or you're like the
people
sporty
have a
one in the
way.
crowd, or whatever it might. I'm not saying this about you. I'm saying this in a general
No,
sense.
no, no. I know. But people have a way to like let you know that they think a certain way about you without
Saying it.
actually going up to you and say, yeah, without saying it. So but that's okay, to be honest. I mean, we're not here to prove points. We are here to prove points to a certain extent, but not like that. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a weird one
Yeah.
because
Mm.
especially when you start putting yourself out there online, which I mean we
Yeah.
both have to a certain extent. Um,
Yeah.
then maybe people who knew you from before you did that, and the people that you meet after have a completely
Mm.
different sense of who you are and what you're about.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. One thing I will say though is that I've been looking at my Insta profile recently, and I was like, wow. And this, of course, it's not right to kind of judge a book by its cover. But I think that if someone goes on my profile, they'll not be like, oh yeah, I think she's a dentist, or she's I don't think she's a lawyer.
Mm.
They definitely would not think that. But I guess my profile's not really, it's
It's not a
not
professional
a
profile, yeah.
professional, yeah, it's not a professional profile. So yeah, but I can do both. I can do professional and I can do casual. So but that's a good thing about people. People should be like that, I think. So
Yeah, because
I think,
I saw this
yeah.
thing the other day, and it was like
Mhm.
about professional speak and how like you're
Yeah.
supposed to speak professionally. Whereas if
Hmm.
you just walked around and spoke like that all the time, you'd be literally the most
Yeah.
boring person on earth.
Yeah.
And it's like taking all the
Yeah. Yeah.
flavor out of the
Exactly.
world a little bit.
Yeah. you have to be able to adapt to
Mm.
situations. You know, there's time for fun, there's time for professionalism, there's time for everything. I think maybe right now I'm having way too much fun, but you know, haven't started working. So once I start working, maybe my other side will be revealed. But for now, you know, I'm just, yeah. So I think that, yeah, there's just different sides to people. It's not necessarily that people are pretending to be a certain way, but you have different sides, and those different sides are adequate for different times, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's just an
Yeah.
interesting kind of like how people see the world and how people see each other in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know where
But
we're going with this, to be honest. I've just gone off on a
no, but
weird
it's
tangent.
it's interesting, you know? No, it's definitely. How about you? Like,
Well, the same
what do
question.
you yeah, the same question.
As in, what do I people misunderstand about me? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I think people who knew me when I was in uni and school would be very, very surprised that I'm doing something as outspoken as a podcast, something like that,
Yeah.
because I was like the quiet person in the room for a lot
Oh
of
Lord.
school and a lot of uni. Or I didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe I had a lot to say if I knew you, and I was like your like a close friend or something. But with other people, I was
Mm-hmm.
probably quite guarded and not
Mm-hmm.
speaking my mind or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
so maybe that's something that people are a bit surprised about.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and maybe I don't know. I enjoy speaking to people. I think that's one of the things, and maybe that's something that people haven't seen from me. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe there's ideas that he thinks he's a big deal, whereas I think if anyone
Oh
actually speaks
Lord.
to me, it's like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
probably not the case, or not
So,
in a
so you don't
serious
think
manner.
you're a big deal?
I'm a standard guy. I just had a good idea and was consistent with it.
Yeah.
I think that's how I see
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
Fair
there's
enough.
nothing that I've done
Yeah.
that someone else couldn't have done. It's just most people wouldn't
Yeah.
have carried on doing it.
Yeah. That's true. Because there's a lot people can have, you know, the same idea, but that doesn't mean that they will all kind of carry through with them. You know,
Mm.
not everyone has the courage to follow through.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
probably what it is. And I have a bit of an obsessive personality, so once I've
Hmm.
started something, it kind of it becomes a uh, becomes like habitual. Like, okay, now I've got to post.
Yeah. Yeah. Of
I think
course.
that's what it is. I think people are like that though. They like to have a um they like the comfort zone, and something that becomes within your comfort zone. You just carry on doing. I don't know if that
Yeah.
makes sense at all.
No, no, it makes sense. I just think that yeah, there are a lot of people like that, but there's also a lot of people who start things then stop, start, stop, start, stop. So yeah, there's two sides of the coin, you know. No, definitely. Yeah.
I think that's what people maybe
Yeah.
don't misunderstand. Like, I'm not doing it for. I don't even know the reason I'm doing everything. I think I just enjoy it. Like, there is an end goal. Like, I do want to do it. Like, if you to ask me where do I want to be in 5 years, which is the question you didn't want to answer, the best I can do, if I was to answer
Yeah.
that question, would be either an endodontist or
Hmm.
or podcasting full time.
Okay.
So
Wow.
that would
Okay.
be the most I could give you, or anywhere in
Hmm.
between.
Yeah.
So
Wow. That is
maybe
a
that's
huge
what,
parameter.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's maybe my 5 year plan or whatever you want to call it.
Your yeah.
But it's not set. Maybe I have another
I
idea. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, no, no. I guess professionally I could probably answer that question, but I mean when someone asks me that question, I don't necessarily think of it as, you know, just professionally. I just think of it as in, you know, in general, where do you see yourself? Like, how do you see yourself?
Yeah.
But I guess that professionally, yeah, I could also say, yeah, maybe as an oral surgeon, maybe doing some fillers here and there, maybe working with nitrous oxide. Who knows? You know, anxiety, anxious patients. That's also something that I've, you know, thought about before. So yeah, professionally, yeah,
There's
it's
a lot to
easy.
be
It's
seen, isn't there?
easier. Yeah, it's easier to answer that question when it comes to professionally, but the rest, yeah,
Leave it
that's where it
open.
gets harder. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
we've hit 2 hours. Should we start to wrap things up? Because I know that
Yeah.
it's probably getting pretty late in Austria, right? What time are you at
Yeah,
now?
it's 11 p.m.
11
It's
p.m.
8 past 11. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
this has been really fun. I mean, how have you found the whole process?
Good. Good. Like I don't have any
Wasn't
complaints.
too
I mean,
scary or anything like that. Hopefully not.
no, no. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was a bit nervous, but yeah, still good. I do like to say that I'm a people's person,
Oh, I hate
modesty
saying that
aside.
about myself because
So
I'm probably not.
no, I don't like to say it, but I do like to think it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't say it, but I do think it. So yeah,
Well, you said
it
it now and
works.
on YouTube, so
And on YouTube, Global Network. Well, here it is, guys. I'm a people's person.
you heard it here
What can I say?
first.
Yeah.
Where can everyone find you? I've already put your Instagram handle on screen so guys can see that if they want to head over and follow you, which I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Anything
At
else?
Hello Easy, guys. Hello Easy. No, it's just I use Instagram most of the
Yeah.
time. So if anyone that has any questions regarding studying abroad, especially, or just dentistry or anything, I'm here. I can answer all the questions. I'm free to help.
Yeah.
Why not? No, I want to see everyone succeed. It's possible, guys. Believe in
Oh
yourselves.
yeah. There's enough
Again,
there's enough teeth out there for everyone to treat some.
yeah, there's enough teeth. Oh my gosh, you just reminded me of when I had to do my pre-clinics of endodontics exam and I had to find natural teeth to do, you
What
know,
happened?
molars, yeah, to do endos on, and oh, that was stressful as well. Going around the whole of Varna, going to clinics and asking them for molars.
Oh, molars are fun.
It's like it's like me, first I say, yeah, guys, you can do it, and then, oh, I remember this when I was in third year. Da, da, da. I'm like polarizing, I'm so polarizing, but you can do it, guys.
It's doable.
Not
Just
saying
don't look for the
easy.
MB2 unless you have a microscope, otherwise you'll be laughing around.
Oh god. And don't worry about the histology, it's doable too.
No one cares about histology. It's fake news.
It's just a pass. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. So Z. Hello, Easie.
It's literally on screen, guys. You can see it. You
Yeah,
can get there. So yeah, make sure to follow Izzy, not
yeah.
Eloise. Oh no, yes, Eloise,
Not,
not
yeah,
Ellie. Which
not
I'm getting very
Ellie.
confused.
You're
That
gonna
was
get blocked on Instagram. Unbelievable. No, I'm
sorry.
joking. Nothing, nothing.
No, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Izzy or Eloise or Eloise or Dr. Gomez or Doc, just not
Stop.
just not Ellie. So
Yeah. Everything but Ellie.
yeah,
Otherwise, I'm not answering your questions. I'm not
what?
gonna
Why
help you.
do you hate it so much?
I don't hate it. It just doesn't sound nice. Ellie,
Right.
like. I'm sorry to the people who are called Ellie because I know it's a proper name, but I just no offense, but it's basic. No offense, but come on, I have such a nice name. Why would you ruin it? Why would you ruin me by
Yeah,
calling me Ellie? Like, come on, you can do better. People can do better. So do better.
that's it. I'm doing
Yeah,
better now. I got
yeah,
everything right just then.
yeah.
Um, So yeah, let's call it there. I've really enjoyed having you on. It's been a really
Of
fun chat.
course.
We've talked
Thank you for
about
having me on.
no, it's a pleasure. We talked about things that we haven't spoke about before, and especially like the school thing was really it's something that I have again kind of like opinions on. Just I've never voiced them. Kind of maybe like yourself a little
Yeah,
bit. So yeah,
yeah, of course, yeah. Like the whole elite, yeah, the whole
it's
elite
very nuanced.
dentistry.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was something I definitely wanted to talk about. Yeah, because never had a chance before. Never really even thought about it
yeah.
actually, but
Well, that's
yeah.
the kind of thing I want to kind of bring up there because it's kind of dentistry adjacent, but not quite. But like, it's
Yeah.
part of everyone's life a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's been great having you on. Guys, if you have
Yeah.
enjoyed this, make sure to hit the like button, to comment, share, which is really important actually. So you can hit the share button and just put it to anywhere basically.
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, whatever you feel like. I don't know if anyone's using Google Plus or whatever. I don't know, whatever. But do that. Apparently Google Plus is a thing and it's really good for YouTube.
Oh Lord.
I'm
Yeah.
having to learn these things.
2021. Leave it for 2021,
Yeah. I'm having to learn these things and I don't want to learn them, but I'm having to learn them. Uh,
Yeah.
and make sure to
Yeah.
subscribe and hit the notification button. We are live every single Friday night at 8 p.m. UK time, which is now GMT. And tomorrow I'm on with the amazing Dr. Awuwa from Ghana. He is a really fun guy. We're going to be talking at 7 p.m. He's got amazing reels, by the way, or TikToks, whatever you want to call them. So check those out. And we're going to
Yeah,
be
I've seen them. They look Good, you know. I have to
He's
try
an
it to
upbeat
TikTok
guy.
as
I
well.
cannot wait.
Yeah, I need to get onto this TikTok thing, you know, because it seems to be working for people. So yeah,
It's fun.
yeah,
It's fun. I'm
yeah.
trying. I think I'm gonna do reacts, dentist reacts
Is
too.
it hard though? Is it hard? Is it easy? Is it practical? Because I'm not very good with these
It depends what
videos
kind of
and
person you are,
technology.
I think. Like
Yeah.
I
Oof,
definitely
okay.
cannot do dances in front of a camera. That's just not me. No, not happening.
With or without camera, forget
Just not
it.
happening. I can
Yeah.
do deadpan kind of humor. I don't know if you saw the one with that guy who called me out, basically. The
No,
tumor
I
guy.
don't. Maybe I have, and I just don't remember.
So the other
Maybe,
day, like
maybe.
2 days ago,
Yeah.
this guy, he
Hmm.
basically called me out for posting the wrong picture of him. He wanted a certain
Oh
picture
crap.
posted. He has 2.2 million followers on TikTok, and he told them all that I'd posted the wrong picture, and
Oh Lord.
he wanted them to all go and DM me. So I had hundreds of DMs and messages and stuff, and I was like, "What the heck's going
No
on?"
way.
I mean,
No
it was
way.
like I was like, "What the heck's going on?" His video was quite funny, but I was like,
Yeah.
"You could have just sent me the one picture that you wanted posting,
Yeah.
not a selection of four."
Yeah.
But I
Uh,
did like a
yeah. Why send a picture that you're going to be bothered about
that.
afterwards if it's posted?
I
Yeah,
mean, I'll
that's true.
take it because I got a bit of exposure from there.
Oh, okay.
And
See.
I did a reaction video to his video.
Hmm.
But that's kind of the most I can do. I think that's like I can make a
Yeah.
comment. I can comment. I'm a guy who, if you're watching a movie, um,
Hmm.
I'll make comments the whole way through, and some
Oh,
of them might be
oh,
funny.
you're one of those. Oh, Lord have mercy. You're one of those.
It is what it
Oh
is.
gosh. Oh, unbelievable. Like I said, yeah, we're all different people. We have to have different people in the world. What can we do?
Why do you have to study it like deeply and be like really involved in it and what?
Or just not invite you guys out to the cinema or things like that. Just leave you out of the
What if it's
plans.
something funny? You have to make a comment,
Yeah, you can laugh, you can say haha and move on with your life.
but you can like say something. You can say I don't know.
Don't try to justify it,
This is how my friendship group works. We make comments about things, and it can be
Oh,
amusing.
okay.
So my TikTok would probably be more like that, like
Okay.
reacting to
Mm,
what someone's done, and then like
yeah.
making a sarcastic comment, which might get me in
Hmm.
trouble. Actually, I don't know if I should do that or not. Maybe I won't.
Yeah. Be careful. Censorship is a real thing. Just saying.
I'll try not to be too
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, that's kind of what that's Dr. Owu is on tomorrow. He is very funny,
Okay.
so we're going to be speaking to him. And then next week it's Bloody Tooth Guy on Friday Night Live. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure everyone's seen his stuff. There's lots and lots of blood for you and lots of surgery and cutting things.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Can't wait.
he's your kind of guy.
Yeah.
So that's next week's episode. We're gonna call it there, guys. It's been great having Eloise on. It's been lots and lots of fun.
Eloise.
There we go.
Yeah. Thank you. It's been great. It's been good. It's been a good experience.
Awesome. Guys, thank you for joining
Yeah.
us. Make sure to do all those bits and pieces we spoke about before, like, comment, subscribe. And if you're enjoying the bits and pieces and want to help me go full time, check out the Patreon group where there's some little bonus content and features and bits and pieces I can help you out with. So, yeah, see you later, guys.
See ya.